Welcome to Gas South Arena for Thursday night hockey between the Atlanta Gladiators and the Orlando Solar Bears. Good evening, everyone. Guy Chiarenza alongside Andrew Fleming. Gladiators welcome the Solar Bears to town for the first time this season. It is March 26th, and we finally get to see the guys from Central Florida here at Gas South Arena. Andrew, shaping up to be a good matchup between these two. Gladiators won the first 3 games of the season series. Orlando won the most recent one on the 4th of the month. But the Gladiators are swinging big. They have punched their ticket to the Kelly Cup playoffs with a win on Sunday against Savannah and a Greenville loss. Now they are in pursuit of that second seed in the division to secure home ice advantage in the first round.
Yeah, for the Gladiators, it's just an absolute sigh of relief at this point. You punched your ticket, you're going to be in, but now you got to fight for some seeding. It looks like you're going to end up playing South Carolina in that first round. Now it's just a matter of who's going to have home ice, which is absolutely huge in a first round series. If it ends up going to 7, you want that 7th game in your building. So for the Gladiators, the rest of the season, it's really just figuring out where you're going to be in those playoffs.
And it wasn't just about clinching a playoff spot. It's about the Gladiators playing well as of late. They've made it 2 wins in a row to improve to 39-19, 2-1. With 81 points on the season and 2 games in hand, they are just 2 points back of South Carolina for the second seed in the division. For Orlando, their season likely going to end in a few weeks. 24-31, 4-1 the record, 53 points. They have lost their last 2, and they are coming off an absolute beating from the Florida Everblades on Saturday, a final score of 9-2. For the Gladiators, Andrew, all season long, it's been up and down with their special teams. Some nights the power play looks good. Other nights it's cold. Same thing for the penalty kill. In the series against Jacksonville, it was the penalty kill that shined. In the game against Savannah, it was the power play, tying a season high with 3 goals on the power play in that Sunday win.
Yeah, that's absolutely huge for this Gladiators power play at this point in the season. You want to be going into the playoffs with your power play on a hot streak. Going into that game against Savannah, the Gladiators power play was struggling a little bit. We talked about it a little bit during the Jacksonville series last weekend. They were struggling a little bit on the power play, but it's absolutely huge that game on Sunday, putting in 3 on the power play. Get your power play feeling a little good about themselves as you go into this stretch run heading into the playoffs.
Yeah, and the Gladiators did it against a Savannah penalty kill that was one of the best in the ECHL at the time. We'll see if the Gladiators can stay consistent now when it comes to the power play here tonight against Orlando, whose penalty kill is 18th in the league at 79.8%. Ethan Hyder is back in the building. Andrew spent some time in Milwaukee last weekend. He gets the start here today. He is currently tied with his head coach, Matt Ginn, for the 3rd most wins all-time in franchise history. Feels like it could be a big day for Ethan Hyder. He's been playing well this season.
Yeah, that would be absolutely awesome for him to pass Coach Ginn tonight on that all-time list for wins by Gladiators goaltender. But as you said, Hyder's just been absolutely stellar all season. We talk about it. Seems like every night with this team, they just get great goaltending every night. And it's been, whether you get Hyder or Felter, it's just been so much fun to watch these guys go to work in the net, battle it out, and come out on top more likely than not. So again, Hyder back down from Milwaukee, back in the net for the Gladiators. Going to be exciting to watch tonight.
Is the 5th meeting of the season between these two teams. The 4 prior meetings were all in Orlando at Kia Center. The Gladiators won the first 3, lost the most recent matchup on March 4th by the final score of 5-1. Andrew, the Gladiators have been cooking in this building this season. They have a home record of 21-7-0-1. And now they're kicking off a 3-game homestand with 2 against Orlando here tonight and tomorrow. Jacksonville comes back to town on Saturday. What are you looking for out of the Gladiators during this first game of the 3-game set to really set the tone?
Yeah, so obviously first time they're seeing Orlando in this building. Last time they went to Orlando, it was a tough loss for the Gladiators. And I feel like I say this a lot, but you're just looking for them to come out, have a really good first 10 minutes, really just kind of seize momentum, take control of this game early against this struggling Orlando team.
And the Gladiators do have a newcomer into the lineup here today. Number 20, Kirkland Irie, will be making his professional debut, signed with the Gladiators out of Bemidji State earlier in the week. This is a guy that had a good season with Bemidji as the captain of the team, a goal and 9 assists for 10 points in 36 games. Feels like this is one of those character guys that Matt Ginn likes to bring in. We've seen a lot of them in the course of the lineup, guys that have worn letters before. And that was really the sentiment that was echoed by head coach Matt Ginn when I asked him what the expectations were for Irie earlier in the week. This is the time of year where you start to see guys sign out of college with these pro teams making a playoff run. I'm excited to see what kind of leadership he brings to this team, but also depth, as the Gladiators are without Riley Appelt here today, who has been suspended for 3 games for an incident with Logan Drevich that happened on Sunday, and Ryan Nolan, who is still out of the lineup as well.
Yeah, I'm very excited to see Irie in the lineup here tonight. As you said, it seems like he brings a lot of leadership into this lineup, which is going to be really good for this team going into the playoffs if he sticks with them. Until then, you want those kind of character guys in the room in a playoff run. You hope to make a deep run, and you're going to need everybody to contribute, whether that's on the ice or just being a vocal leader in the room, and it seems like that's what he's going to bring to this team.
We'll get to the starting lineups later on in the broadcast, but it is worth noting that as of this time, the Gladiators are dressing 11 forwards and 7 defensemen. This is something that the Gladiators have done a few times this season. And here tonight, Andrew, the Gladiators have 9 defensemen on their roster. They're going to use 7 of them here today. They've gotten some scoring in the past on the back end. I'm particularly looking at Brendan Less here today. He's on a 3-game assist streak. Who are you looking at in the Gladiators D core that maybe steps up with a little bit of scoring today?
You know what? I'm looking at Nolan Orzek. I feel like Orzek always, when he's in the lineup, it seems like he's really good at distributing the puck around. He's really quick on the back end, really good in the transition game. So I'm looking at Nolan Orzek to provide a little offense for this Gladiators team.
Our very own Shelby Rabideau spent some time around the concourse getting all the intel for tonight's game. Here is Shelby to break it all down for you as we prepare for this matchup between the Gladiators and the Solar Bears.
Hi Gladiators fans, Shelby Rabideau here to break down everything you need to know about the matchup tonight against the Orlando Solar Bears. But first, let me catch you up on any new Gladiators news that you might have missed. Over the weekend, the team clinched a berth in the 2026 Kelly Cup playoffs. That comes from their 4-3 win against the Savannah Ghost Pirates on Sunday afternoon and the Greenville loss against Jacksonville. Check out this video of head coach Matt Ginn talking about the special news.
It's a great feat for us. We said right from day one that we want to build a championship in here, and credit to the guys. I think they all bought in right away. Right during camp, it was fast paced. If we remember, seems like a long time ago, but it was fast paced. Guys were focused, and obviously making the playoffs was the first goal we wanted to accomplish. And you want to celebrate that a little bit. We know there's a lot of season left, and we still want to move up and finish as high as we can in the standings. And that's the first step. But the goal hasn't changed from day one. We want to build a championship, and I know that. Or build a championship team, but I know the guys, people outside of the dressing room, especially before the season started, probably would have thought we were crazy, but guys have been focused on that, and that's been the goal right from day one. So it's a great first step, and we're proud of that accomplishment.
It feels great to be a Gladiator, doesn't it? Now, tonight, Atlanta takes on the Solar Bears for the 5th time this season. This is the first game in a set of 2 against the team this weekend. Atlanta has won 3 out of the 4 games so far this season. And the last time they played the Solar Bears was on March 4th at the Kia Center, where the Solar Bears upset the Gladiators 5-1. So expect the team to come out proving that they deserve a place in the playoffs and taking back that crown from the Solar Bears per their last victory.
Tonight's game is brought to you by the ECHL, celebrating its 38th season of affordable family entertainment. The ECHL would like to thank everyone in attendance for your support of ECHL hockey. The ECHL would also like to recognize the following league sponsors: AMI Graphics, exclusive signage provider; Athletic Knit, official jersey supplier; Baron Rings, official championship ring supplier; BFL Canada Insurance and Sutton Special Risk, sponsors of the 2026 ECHL Hall of Fame induction ceremony; Dash, official mobile auction platform; The Fairley Group, official commercial insurance provider; Flow Sports, exclusive streaming provider; Hotel Planner, official hotel reservations partner; Howie's Hockey Tape, exclusive hockey tape and lace provider; In Glasgow, exclusive puck provider; Prolific One, exclusive secondary ticketing partner; and Warrior, exclusive on-ice equipment provider and title sponsor of the 2026 ECHL All-Star Classic. Catch all of the ECHL action live in high definition by logging on to flowhockey.tv.
Kind of feels like everyone's trying to copy the $5 biggie bag. So how can you spot a knockoff? It won't taste like Wendy's. This job is easy. When the deal is as fresh as the meal, gotta be Wendy's.
Gotta be fresh.
Welcome to Gas South Arena, home of the Atlanta Gladiators, as they are set to host the Orlando Solar Bears for the first game of a 3-game homestand. Fresh off of clinching a playoff berth on Sunday, the Gladiators will now turn their attention to getting home ice advantage in the first round. They only trail the second-place South Carolina Stingrays by 2 points. 2 points that they can make up ground here today. Guy Chiarenza alongside Andrew Fleming. All eyes are on the Gladiators and the Solar Bears. It is only one of 2 games in the ECHL here today. So thanks for joining us on Peachtree Sports Network, Flow Hockey, and YouTube. Let's turn our attention to the keys to the game presented by Beaver, Toyota, and Mazda with our head coach, Matt Gibb. Key number 1 is the details. And as coaches usually say, it's all about the details. For the Gladiators, this is going to be one of those games where it's going to be gritty. This is a Solar Bears team that has 5 newcomers in the lineup since the last time that they saw each other earlier in the month, about 3 weeks ago. For the Gladiators, they're going to have to look into the finer details of their game and perfect it against a hungry Orlando team. Second key is to play with jam. The Gladiators have done that many times over recent weeks. They look to do it again here today and make it 3 wins in a row. And finally, the third key is to win the gritty areas. Gladiators have done a good job of winning those battles along the boards this season. One of the reasons why they are in pursuit of their 40th win of the season here tonight. And with that, let's get to the starting lineups here today between the Gladiators and the Solar Bears. We will start with the Atlanta Gladiators. Getting the start at left wing is number 7, Mickey Burns, standing at 5'9", 170. The native of Wayne, New Jersey, has 6 goals and 7 assists for 13 points in 61 games. His starting center is number 18, Carson Denemy, standing at 6'1", 194. The native of Regina, Saskatchewan, picked up his 8th goal this season on Sunday. It was a steal-in score to get all the scoring started in the 4-3 victory over Savannah. Denemy now has 8 goals and 9 assists for 17 points in 61 games. His starting right winger is number 86, Ryan Francis, standing at 5'9", 176. Native of Halifax, Nova Scotia, has 6 goals and 22 assists for 28 points in 61 games. Getting the start at left defense for the Gladiators is number 8, Ryan Conroy, standing at 5'9", 185. Native of Chestermere, Alberta, has 4 goals and 9 assists for 13 points in 57 games. Starting at right defense for Atlanta is number 2, Brendan Less, standing at 6'1", 181. Native of Kittleton, New Jersey, has 3 goals and 11 assists for 14 points in 46 games. He is currently riding a 3-game assist streak into today's game. And finally, getting the start in net for your Gladiators is number 31, Ethan Hyder, standing at 6'4", 190. Native of Maple Grove, Minnesota, is under contract with the Gladiators' AHL affiliate, the Milwaukee Admirals. Was up in Milwaukee last weekend, has since been reassigned back to Atlanta. He mans the pipe for Atlanta here today, and he is currently tied for 3rd place all-time in the Gladiators' all-time wins list with his head coach, Matt Ginn. He can pass him and have sole possession of 3rd with a win here today. Hyder this season has 20 wins for a record of 20, 10, and 1, 2.43 goals against average, 924 save percentage, and 1 shutout. Tonight marks his 33rd appearance of the season. Gladiators are led by head coach and director of hockey operations Matt Ginn. Assistant coach is Zach Fennell. Equipment manager is Ben Ellis. Athletic trainer is Nick Nelson. I'm Guy Chiarenza alongside Andrew Fleming. We will be joined by Shelby Rabideau as well as we get set for an exciting night of hockey here in Duluth. Gladiators are making their way out of the tunnel wearing their white jerseys with blue numbers and Gladiator gold trim. This is the first game of a 3-game homestand for the Gladiators. They're taking on the Solar Bears tonight and tomorrow, and then they will take on the Jacksonville Icemen on Saturday. Friday night is Knights Night. The Gladiators will be honoring the 1994 Turner Cup champions, the Atlanta Knights. Specially jerseys, bringing it all back. And on Saturday, we'll do the same, honoring the Atlanta Thrashers with Thrashers Night to cap off the weekend. Gets all started here tonight. Solar Bears will be wearing black jerseys with white numbers and purple trim. They will state from left to right to begin. Do not yet have the starters for Orlando. And so, when we do, we'll give them to you. We do know that there's a 4-man officiating crew here tonight. 2 referees, James Kraft wearing number 50 and Nolan Bloyer wearing number 31. Linesmen are Quinn Schaefer wearing number 49 and Kyle Gaspari wearing number 67. Fans still filing into the building here tonight to watch the Gladiators and the Solar Bears do battle. It is the 5th meeting of the season between these two teams. The Gladiators are 3-1 against the Solar Bears, who have just made their way onto the ice right now, led by their goaltender here tonight, number 31, Connor Unger, who was the goaltender that the Gladiators saw the last time these two teams met in what was a 5-1 win for Orlando on the 4th of the month at Kia Center in Orlando, Florida. We are just about set for battle. Coming up next here from Gas South Arena is the national anthem, and when we return, first period action between these two South Division rivals.
Please stand as Fort Gordon, Dwight Eisenhower Color Guard, honors our nation with a presentation of colors. Please remain standing with hands over hearts as we honor America and all the brave women and men who served our country with the singing of the national anthem, performed by the Cula Middle School Choir. Very nicely done. Thank you. The Cula Middle School Choir and Fort Gordon, Dwight Eisenhower Color Guard. Delivering tonight's Crumble Cookie Puck delivery is Roger Ray.
We are all set and ready to go from Gas South Arena, home of the Atlanta Gladiators. They host the Orlando Solar Bears for the first time this season. For the Gladiators, just 10 games remain on the schedule. They've already punched their ticket to the postseason. Now they are looking for first round home ice advantage. They trail the South Carolina Stingrays for second in the division by just 2 points, and they have 2 games in hand. Andrew, this is one of those games for the Gladiators here today where they can make up some ground.
Yeah, this one's absolutely huge for the Gladiators. We talked about a little bit in the pregame show just how good the Gladiators have been on home ice. And if they can get a home ice advantage in the first round of the playoffs, it will be absolutely huge for this team.
They will look to defend the Coliseum again here tonight. The home record of 21-7-0-1. The Gladiators have been dynamite in this building this season. It will be Carson Denemy to take the opening faceoff of the game tonight for Atlanta. He will go up against number 74, Tyler Drevich, the former Gladiator and his former teammate from last season, to get things started here today. Puck is down. We are underway. The Gladiators begin the game with possession. And they immediately ice the puck 9 seconds into the game. Starting for Orlando at left wing is number 13, Connor Eddy. Center is number 74, Tyler Drevich. Right winger is number 29, Tyler Cobrin. Left defense is number 24, Mark Cooper, with number 5, Ethan Schmaggy. Goaltender for Orlando today is number 31, Connor Unger. The Gladiators starting at left wing is number 7, Mickey Burns. Center is number 18, Carson Denemy. Right winger, number 86, Ryan Francis. Left defense, number 8, Ryan Conroy. Right defense, number 2, Brendan Less. And in net tonight for the Gladiators, number 31, Ethan Hyder. Another whistle to start. That's a pair in the opening 14 seconds of the game. Now the whistle to put a pin in this one to start. Take this face-off out to the neutral zone. And another face-off for the third time between Denemy and Drevich. For Carson Denemy, picked up the opening goal in Sunday's win against Savannah. Been a great forechecker for this team this season. Nice steal-in score to get the action going. Puck is spat down to the Gladiators' end. On the far wall, Brendan Less reels it in. Turnover behind the net. Almost a chance for Orlando. Long shot by Schmaggy. Hits a stick in front and leaps into the far corner. Grabbed by Drevich, pinned up by Denemy. Puck is shaken down and tossed to the Gladiator line, where it's helped out to center by Conroy. Drevich swipes it back in from the trapezoid. Hyder heaves it to his left. Along the wall for Orlando was Connor Eddy trying to pinch, but the Gladiators do skate free, with Denemy breaking down the left wing. Tried to thread it inside, hit a stick, and is kept along the near wall. Orlando floats it back near Hyder and will complete a line change. For Atlanta, they're addressing 7 defensemen here today and 11 forwards. We're going to see a lot of these 7D for the Gladiators. On there now is Cam Gaudette and Chad Nychuk. Gladiators dump the puck in deep to the Orlando end. Dylan Gill tries to roll it out to center. Little help from Anthony Bardero. They do just that. Bardero had a hat trick in the last meeting between these two. Puck bounces between the circles of the Gladiators zone. Sylvester takes it, tries to put it up the ice for Alex Young. Puck hopped over his stick, and Orlando tries to move in transition. Jared Lucas-Savages overskates the pass. Bardero will chase after it, but the Gladiators pick it free. Here is Sip alone, barreling down the left wing. He'll punch the puck in and get off for a change. On for the Gladiators is the first line. Mike McNamee, Jack O'Brien, and Isaac Walter. McNamee had a goal and an assist in the win on Sunday. O'Brien along the left wing wall, makes his way to the corner, shoved down along the boards. Great stand-up by Masno Lombardi, the rookie for Orlando. A long shot is turned away by Unger. Orlando floats it out to center. Puck is snatched up by Orzek and rolled cross ice to Carabia. The Florida man steers it to the neutral zone. Wanted McNamee at the red line. Did not connect. Solar Bears handle the puck and feed it to the right wing, away from the intended target in Tyler Bird. Gladiators try and move in transition. Kirkland Irie, playing the first professional shift of his career, pumps it into the far corner for Cipolone. Irie wearing number 20 for the Gladiators here today, signed with them out of Bemidji State on Monday. Scardina in the neutral zone, enters on the right side, takes a shot, that gets blocked. Dylan Gill got in front of it. Now the puck is knocked out to center and gloved down by Conroy. Had a couple of whistles to start this game, but ever since it's been free-flowing. Almost 3 minutes gone by in the first. Less behind his own net, scans his options, drops it off for his D partner in Conroy. Move his way up the left wing wall and give it off to Francis. He'll sneak his way into the corner. Big check by Mickey Burns thrown there as the Solar Bears are able to scoop it out to center. Handling it through the neutral zone is Logan Britt. Disposes of it to the trapezoid and peels back for the Solar Bears. Gladiators look to take it up the ice. Here is Burns up to Denemy. Skates in, but Francis was offside, and we get our next whistle with 16:31 left in the first.
Yeah, guy, it's going to be really interesting to see how Coach Ginn deploys this fourth line, because right now, obviously, only dressing 11 forwards. He's only got Irie and Scardina on that fourth line right now. Their first shift, they got out there with Joey Cipollone, who had a quick little double shift there. So it's going to be really interesting to see which centers he pairs up with this line throughout the night. Try and keep the legs fresh.
And you can make your pick as to who you think is going to score the Gladiators' first goal and factor in with the first assist. Head on over to our social media platforms on Instagram, X, Facebook, and of course in our YouTube live chat to cast your vote. First goal, first assist brought to you by Hancock Whitney Bank and Pinnacle Promotions, respectively. Neutral zone face-off, Burns will take it. He will win it to Francis, and driving it in from the red line is Evan Orn. Around to the near boards it goes at the point. Puck can't be held in by Francis. Skating down the right wing for a shot. That goes wide was Tyler Cobran. Solar Bears hard around to the right point. Allen has it glance off his stick to Denemy. Francis takes in the cross-ice feed on the right wing and softly pitches it in and gets off for a change. 4 minutes gone by in the first. Eking his way through the neutral zone is Eddie. Tries to drop it off along the left wing, but the Gladiators sniff it out. Here is Sylvester gaining the attacking line. Right wing feed back inside. They score! Alex Young off of surgical passing pots the goal, and the Gladiators have a 1-0 lead.
What an absolutely surgical passing play there by the Gladiators line of Sylvester, Cipollone, and Young, who eventually puts it in the back of the net. Great zone entry. Sylvester cuts through the middle, gives it outside to Cipollone, who goes right back to the inside to Young, who's able to just get that one-timer right inside the far post to give the Gladiators the early lead.
Absolutely surgical by the Gladiators with that crisp passing. And you were Johnny on it, Andrew. Great zone entry from the Gladiators. Results in the opening goal of the night. Gladiators are money when scoring first this season. 28-4-1-1 when they do so. They're looking for another long shot by Young. Fought off by Unger. The first goal of the game was scored on the first shot. Alex Young, who leads the team in shots, had no shots on goal in the Sunday win against Savannah. His first of the night here today. Finds the back of the net. He has picked up goal number 25 on the season to lead the team in that category and give them the 1-0 lead. Cam Gaudette has room to roam in the neutral zone. Gains the attacking line. Drifts to left wing and shoots. Gobbled up by Unger. Keeps the play alive. Leaves it for his defenseman. Up the ice they go. Hits a stick on a pass through the neutral zone. Walter tries to bat it out of the air. Long shot by Bird. Misses Hyder. Puck is available behind the net. Gaudette will grab it first. Relays it to Conroy. Up the ice to McNamee at the red line. Puts it in deep where it's played by Unger. From the trapezoid, steers it to his left along the far corner wall. Orlando is able to pick it away from Isaac Walter. Bird out to the neutral zone. Moves up ice with Luchuk. Pulls up, centers. Pass goes behind two Solar Bears and is caught up to in the near corner by Conroy and Walter. McNamee sauces up the ice for less. 3-game assist streak for him. Gains the attacking line and tried to dish it off to O'Brien, but that play offside and cut short with 14:15 left in the first.
Yeah, going back to that first goal scored by the Gladiators. As I said, it was a perfect zone entry by the Gladiators. Really well executed. 3-on-2 there. Cody Sylvester takes the middle, and then he dishes outside to Joey Cipollone, who's going wide. And then Alex Young, smart player that he is, found some open ice on the inside. Nice quiet area. Rips that one-timer in to give the Gladiators an early lead.
And a very promising start for the Gladiators. That's first period goals in back-to-back games. Prior to this one, the Gladiators had only scored 7 first-period goals in their last 21 games. Seems like they've come alive of late. As Irie overskates a puck on the right wing, Solar Bears take it to center. Pass inside, Causey looking for McMullen going to the net. Gladiators bounce him off of it. Now a shot from the wall, hits a body and goes to the far side. Picked up in the neutral zone by Young. He'll flip it into the far corner and give chase. Allen gets there first for Orlando. Tries to pummel the puck out. Almost turns it over, but the Solar Bears do get the job done. Puck available in front of their own bench. Irie gives it a big smack. Sends it back down to Unger. Gladiators have been aggressive on the forecheck as of late. That's how Denemy scored his goal in the last game. Almost creates a turnover here on the far wall, but the old Solar Bears are able to escape danger and sneak out to center. Puck is turned over. Burns disposes of it into the far corner. He'll take a hop, go to Schmaggy. They'll cycle around to the near side. Francis pinching, looking to keep the play alive. Trades it off to Burns. The return feed is intercepted by Drevich. Clearing attempt is held in on the left point by Nychuk. Weave down the wall, trade it off to Francis, climbs back up it, moves it to the point, long shot. They do not score. Oh man, thought that one was close, but Unger got it. Makes the stop with 12:46 to go in the first. Dylan Carabia thought he had his first of the season, but Unger was able to eat it up. And we will go to the break. Gladiators 1, Solar Bears nothing. Atlanta leads off of Alex Young's 25th of the season.
We're 20, and yeah, we're celebrating big. Because in 20 years, we didn't just make the gear. We made hockey cooler. They said we were too loud, too flashy, too different. They told us to tone it down. The Warriors don't tone it down. We go full throttle. And this is just the start. 20 years in and we're just getting warmed up. We're still the brand that makes the gear you can win in, chirping and partying. And if you thought we were bold before, just wait. The next 20 years start now.
Life's too short for ordinary whiskey. Make it infamous. Now available at Mega Package Store, 2820 Lawrenceville, Sewanee, Oregon, 4 miles from Gas South Arena.
Gladiators have a 1-0 lead off of Alex Young's 25th goal of the season. That goal being scored 4:13 into the first. They almost took a 2-0 lead off the latest bid from Dylan Carabia. Hit the post, absorbed by Unger. It remains a 1-0 lead. Gladiators will continue to press. They win an offensive zone face-off. Nychuk, left wing, toe drag shot. Kick save made by Unger. Puck to the near corner. Gladiators try and feather it to the inside, through the slot, out to the far wall. Another shot gets tipped wide in front of Unger. Camped out in front of the net was Alex Young. 6 shots to none in favor of the Gladiators to start tonight's game. Orlando punches the puck in deep. From below the goal line, Gladiators try and quickly move up the ice. Good feed by Sylvester. Cipolone takes it in the neutral zone. Barreling down the left wing, pulls up. Has a trailer. Les, fresh off the bench, sneaks to the net, gets tripped up, and we have our first penalty of the game.
Really good patience there by Brendan Les. Comes in as the trailer there. Joey Cipolone lays out a really nice pass for him that he's able to just skate right into. Looks like Luchuk's going to go to the box here for the trip. Or nope.
It's actually Bardero that's going to take a seat. The font on these Solar Bears jerseys are kind of wacky.
81-91. It was close, but Les just caught Bardero flat-footed there, made the move inside on him. Bardero trying to poke the puck off his stick, gets it into his feet, and the Gladiators to the early power play.
So after tying a season high with 3 power play goals on Sunday, going 3 for 6 against Savannah, this Gladiators team will look to back that up again here today, here against a Solar Bears penalty kill that operates at 79.8%, 18th best in the ECHL. McNamee at the left point. Throws it across. Les up top to Conroy. He'll shoot. Save made by Unger. Gladiators look to keep it in, but extra effort from Bird is going to sauce it down to Hyder for a Solar Bear clear. Gladiators have been moving a different kind of way here in this first period. 7 shots to none to open up the game. Burns along the left wing. Floats it into the far corner. Cipolone speeds into it. Tried to knife it up the wall. Instead gets caught in a jumble along the corner wall. Leaks free to Bird. Quick exchange to Drevich. And the Solar Bears will take their time going out to center and end up turning the puck over. They do get it back. Bruder tries to storm in. Conroy and Les stand him up. And the Gladiators will start to trot out the first power play unit as the second got the start. 1:04 left on the penalty to Bardero. 11:07 left in period 1. Sylvester takes it through the neutral zone. Quick chip to the slot, hits a body and ping-pongs out to center. We do have another penalty here. Looks like another tripping call. And that will put an end to the Eco-Electric power play as Cody Sylvester is off to the box.
Yeah, it looked like just a little confusion there on the zone entry for the Gladiators. Sylvester got caught up with his man, took him down. We're going to play a little 4-on-4.
4-on-4 action for the next 52 seconds, barring any changes with any new penalties. 10:58 left in the first period. Gladiators have a 1-0 lead. Faceoff will be to the right of Ethan Hyder, who is yet to see his first shot of the day. Carson Denemy will take this faceoff against Andrew Bruder. Gladiators on the ice. It is Orr, Nychuk, Francis, and Denemy. Gladiators win the faceoff. Look to find an avenue into Solar Bear ice. Francis will lead them on in. Down the middle, cuts to the net. Francis can't get a shot away. Got tied up with Gill at the last moment. Up high, Nychuk puts it to the goal. Francis waiting back door, tried to tip it in. That wouldn't go. Puck sneaks its way in on Unger, and he's not going to make any mistake. He's going to cover that up with 28 seconds left on the 4-on-4 and 10:34 left in the first.
Yeah, really nice idea there by Nychuk and Francis. There was a really good zone entry by Francis, taking his guys 1-on-2 there. Puck ends up top to Nychuk. Then Francis finds a little quiet area right by the side of the net, looking for a tip there. Nychuk put it right on his stick, but Francis just chips it over the net.
Faceoff will be on the far circle to the left of Unger. Bruder will take this against Denemy. Same Gladiators from the last sequence remain on the ice here. Solar Bears win the faceoff. Lucas Savages goes behind the net. Beg your pardon, that was Gill. Up the ice for Mark Cooper. Solar Bears try and cut to the net. Cooper backhand shot turned away by Hyder. And there is his first save of the night. Now here is Lucas Savages from below the Gladiator goal line. Swooping up high, trading it off to Gill. Centering feed for a shot. Screeches wide of Hyder. Off the stick of Luciano Wilson. He'll carry it back out to center. As Bardero exits the box, it is a Solar Bear power play for the next minute. Gladiators on the Beaver Toyota Mazda penalty kill. Bird in the near corner. Swipes it off the end wall. Up to the far wing. Luchuk overskates a bit. Gladiators get in front of him. Good play by Mickey Burns. Held in up high. Luciano Wilson to the right circle. Pulling away. Sending it to Luchuk. Back in that same area. Climbs up to the high slot. Dishes it off to Bardero. Right circle. High slot. Britt shoots wide of Hyder. Now here is Luchuk returning it to Britt. Left to right point for Bardero. Back to Britt. Over to Luchuk. Down to the goal line. Pass misses Bird. And Carabia gets a stick on it. So the Bears kept to the outside. Bird tried to go back to Luchuk. Intercepted by Gaudette. And forced out the center by Burns. 10 seconds left on the penalty to Sylvester. So the Bears try and burst in, but they're offside with 9:05 left in the first. And a bit of a convergence afterwards. Anthony Bardero having a chat with Dylan Carabia. 8 seconds left on the penalty to Cody Sylvester. And then he will be out, and the Gladiators can get back to business in the game where they have really been buzzing offensively to start.
Yeah, really good start for the Gladiators. Feel like most of the play has been down in the Solar Bears' end. Look for the Gladiators to get back to that after killing these last 8 seconds of this penalty.
And for the Gladiators, there have been times in the past where they've had good showings in the first period, but weren't able to get any goals out of it. Now, in recent days, they've been finding a way to convert on their chances, and as a result, they've been winning. Sylvester out of the box. Gladiators start the night 1-for-1 on the PK and 0-for-1 on the power play. Irie in the near corner. Swipes it around the net to the far. Solar Bears are able to knock it through neutral ice. Irie will skate back into it. Waffle it back to the red line. Drifting to the right wing is Eddie from the circle. Conroy tried to strip it away. Eddie able to keep from the trapezoid. Tripped up his own man, and the Gladiators take the puck away. Irie over the red line, chips it into the near corner. Scardina catches up to it and throws a check. O'Brien in the area as well. Solar Bears wedge their way out to center as Kodzi drops it in deep in Gladiator ice. And we get a whistle for an icing here with 8:09 left in the first. Bit of an odd sequence there, but the Gladiators will get an offensive zone face-off out of it. On the ice for Atlanta now is Young, Sylvester, and Cipollone. That line that looked really good in that Sunday win against Savannah. And on the blue line, it is Orzek and Nychuk. And as you mentioned before, Andrew, the Gladiators 11 forwards, 7 defensemen. We're going to see some mix-up in terms of the combos here today in both forwards and defensemen. Orzek left wing. Tries to spin around Kodzi and does. point to point. Nychuk fakes a shot, drops it off for Orzek. From the right circle, fires wide of Unger. Solar Bears will scoop up the rebound and chip it to the neutral zone. Handled by Young. He'll turn up ice, send Nychuk into action. Has Sylvester, who bats it into Solar Bear territory. Returned to Nychuk. Over to Orzek. He'll slide it in deep where it's played by Unger from the trapezoid. He'll backhand it to the near corner. Sylvester hard on the forecheck. Look to create a turnover. At the right point, the Gladiators do. Carabia tattoos it off the end wall. Solar Bears try and cycle their way out, and they emerge to center. Puck grabbed by Carabia and fluttered into his own bench. Clock stops with 7:17 left in the first period. Gladiators up 1-0, so they can add to it when we come back.
More than just cookies.
Desserts now in rotation.
Why choose between getting things done and doing things with the ones you love? With Kroger's same-day pickup and delivery, it's easy to shop the same great prices and quality you'd find in-store, so you can catch more family time. We'll bring your groceries right to you, satisfaction guaranteed, so you can spend time on what matters most. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Zillow Performance and Recovery is the official recovery partner of the Atlanta Gladiators with cryotherapy, infrared sauna, red light compression, float and oxygen therapy. Zillow helps reduce inflammation, speed recovery, and boost energy. Zillow, train hard, recover smarter, and perform like a gladiator every day. Face off to the left of Hyder to resume the action. 7:15 to go in period one. Atlanta with a 1-0 lead off of Alex Young's 25th goal of the season as his career year continues. Solar Bears work their way to the end wall. Orr tries to sputter the puck out of the zone, but it's held in by Gill. From the right point, angles it into the far corner. Centering feed from below the goal line, broken up by O'Brien. And tossed to McNamee, who shoves it into his own bench. Clock stops with 6:48 to go. Seen the Gladiators rotate these defensemen out pretty consistently in this game, Andrew. And for them, their workhorse this season has been Chad Nychuk. He has had a fantastic year, and he is just one assist away from setting a single-season Gladiators record for most assists by a defenseman. He has since head off on his Conroy and Les. Walter from the right wing steers it to the trapezoid. Unger out to play it, pressured by O'Brien. Turnover set in for a shot by Walter. He got tripped up on the play, and the Gladiators going back to the power play.
Yeah, really nice forecheck there by this line of O'Brien, McNamee, and Walter for the Gladiators there. O'Brien able to come up with the loose puck, looking for Walter in the high slot there. Made the pass, Walter got slashed, trying to take the shot. Gladiators back to the power play.
And this time it is Luchuk going to the box. Face off to the left of Unger. The first Gladiators power play got cut short. Spent some time at 4-on-4. First unit on the ice to start this one. Gladiators win the opening face-off of the power play. Nychuk inside, Young to the left wing for Sylvester. Puts it back to the blue line for Nychuk. Sauced back to Sylvester along the wall into the near corner for Walter. Return to the captain, tries to scrub his way down the wall, leaves it for Walter, over to the right circle, to the slot for Young, and it hit his stick and went out of play right in front of Unger.
Yeah, really nice look there by O'Brien. The one-timer slap pass there to Young in the slot. Again, just chipped that one right over the net.
The Gladiators on this power play, there are really four guys to watch here as Isaac Walter, Alex Young, Jack O'Brien each lead the team with 7 power play goals this season, and you always have to keep an eye on Chad Nychuk as he leads the team with 14 power play assists. Here is Young to take this face-off against Bruder on the far circle. Wins it to the right point. Nychuk reels it in. Softly distributes to O'Brien. Scamper into the far corner. Return it to Nychuk. Over to Young left circle. Nychuk once more. Right circle for a blast. Stopped by Unger. Young on the doorstep. Just flutters it wide. O'Brien keeps it in on the right wing. Centers to Nychuk. Backdoor Young. Holds and shoots. Save Unger. Rebound goes to O'Brien. He fires wide of the mark. Momentum carries the puck to the left wing where it's held in by Sylvester. We'll trade it off to Nychuk. Moves it to his left for Young. Down low. Walter tries to thread it across. Didn't work out, so he put it on goal for another stop by Unger. 56 seconds left on the penalty to Luchuk. 5:28 on the clock in the first.
We talked about in the pregame show, Guy. Gladiators power play going 3 for 6 on Sunday in Savannah. And it looks like they gave them a little bit of swagger because they were absolutely snapping it around just now, that first unit. Couple of really good opportunities, just not able to find the back of the net.
Gladiators on the Eco-Electric power play for the second time tonight. McNamee in the second unit on. Cipollone, Burns, Les, Conroy, and McNamee will take the face-off to resume the action. Puck goes to the wall, leaks to Bird. He'll carry it out to the neutral zone for Orlando and put a shot on goal to Hyder. Conroy scoops up the loose puck off the save. We'll look to lead the next charge on the man advantage with under 40 seconds to go. Feeds it to the right wing for Cipollone. Dropped off to Les. Across to McNamee beneath the left circle. Puts it back up high to Conroy. Delays to Les. Return feed. Conroy tries to stare down the netminder. Ends up flubbing on the pass. Is able to catch up to it. Leave his way to the right wing and leave it for Les. From the half wall. Slings it to the line. Conroy drifting to his left. Finds Les open. Back to Conroy. Takes a shot. Deflection in the slot. Saved by Unger. Burns digging at it. But Unger able to hold firm.
Yeah, Gladiators getting really nice. A lot of nice deflections here early in this game. Just not able to find the back of the net on them. But really good ideas there. Low shots that are easily able to be tipped by the Gladiators in the high slot. Making it difficult on Unger to make those saves.
5 seconds left on the power play for the Gladiators. And they will trot out Denemy, Irie, Francis, Orzek, and Orr. Face off on the far circle. Bardero will take this draw against Denemy. Denemy does win it to the left wing wall. Orr puts it to the slot where it hits a stick and goes wide. In the far corner, it's Irie. In his first pro game, slinks away from the defensive coverage. Gets checked, still stays on it. Puck jolts to the line. And the Solar Bears will skate it into Gladiator ice. Pass to the left wing, makes its way to the intended target. Pulling up is Wilson. Left for Lucas Savages. Behind the net, wraparound chance from Cooper. Fought off by this Gladiators defense and sent to the far wall. Denemy gathers it, slings it up the ice. Irie softly pitches it to the neutral zone. Gladiators get a partial change with Gaudette coming on and Orzek going off. Meanwhile, Bardero drags it over the attacking line. Tried to shoot. Good defensive play by Irie and company. Get the stick lifted there. Puck behind the net. Orr grabs it. 3:40 left in the first period. Again, chips it out to the neutral zone. This time it's grabbed by Allen. Pummels it around the boards where it's slowed down by Hyder. Behind the net, Gaudette tries to send the puck up the ice, but it hits a stick and ends up going out of play with 3:28 on the clock in period one. Gladiators have come out with a great start. 1-0 lead. Lead the shot count 10-2 as well. See if they can add another to their total before the end of the period with 3:28 left on the clock when we come back.
It's game day and Bucky's ready for action. From the moment he pulls up, it's all smiles, high fives, and Beaver Toyota pride. A quick stop for snacks and he's game ready. The energy in the arena starts to build because when Beaver Toyota and the Gladiators team up, the fun and excitement never stop. Catch Bucky at the next Gladiators game or visit us anytime at beavertoyotacoming.com.
Gladiators have come out firing on all cylinders here in the first period. 1-0 lead with 3:28 to play in the opening frame. Face off to the right of Hyder. Won by O'Brien. Walter carries it to the neutral zone. Has his stick lifted. Hopefully dropped in deep by Luchuk. Behind the net is Gaudet. Backhanding it around to Karabi on the far boards. Whack it off the glass, almost into his own bench, and it actually hit the corner wall, or glass, I should say, right along the edge of the Gladiators bench. And as a result of that, they do blow the play dead with 3:12 on the clock. Bit of an odd-looking play there. You don't see that too often, but it does happen from time to time. That curved glass that sits along the corner between the boards and the bench area. This faceoff will stay in the Gladiator zone as a result of the stoppage. O'Brien will take the faceoff once more against Eddie. One once again, up the ice to Walter, left for O'Brien with some steam, powers the puck into the far corner. Gill spins it to the neutral zone. No icing here, so Gaudet gonna have to track this one down with Bruder right on his heels. First-year pro out of Stonehill College is able to shake him out. Walter takes in the pass from Gaudet on the left wing and is shrugged off the puck by Gill. Solar Bears volley the puck out the center. Quick touch pass. They move with numbers. Britt to the inside for a backhand shot, and they score. Cole Kodzi takes the feed from Britt and puts it upstairs to tie the game up at 1.
What a pass by Britt there. A little saucer pass over the stick at Chad Nychuk. And he's just tapped in there on the back door by Kodzi. Nice execution on the two-on-one for the Solar Bears, and they tie this one up late in the first.
And Cole Kodzi, number 67 for Orlando, has goal number 9 on the season. And in the first period with the Gladiators have played so well, it is now tied at 1. Solar Bears score their first goal of the night on their third shot of the game. The Gladiators scored their goal on their first. So a brand new game again. Nychuk chips it into the near corner for Cipollone. Battling there against Cooper. Puck leaks to the end wall. Cipollone gets it back, throws it up top. Orzek to Nychuk. Left point shoots. Off a stick, hits the end boards, and is grabbed by Cooper. Gill gets an assist on the Kodzi goal as well. Shot from the right wing. Hauled in by Unger. Cody Sylvester tried to snap that one in, but Unger holds firm. Whistle blows with 2:03 on the clock.
Yeah, nice response shift by this Gladiators second line. Getting it on the forecheck, forcing a turnover. And Sylvester with a pretty decent look on goal there. Nice response after giving up that goal to Orlando.
That's what you want to see out of this Gladiators team, especially a team that has already locked up a spot in the playoffs. That bend but don't break mentality. You get right back on the horse and you just keep riding. Gladiators going to get their lead back. That line has since headed off. On comes Burns, Denemy, and Francis, the third line for Atlanta. Bardero will take this face-off against Denemy on the far circle. Solar Bear is the victor. They'll toss it out to center. Lucas Savages will rip it to the end wall and give chase. Beat out by Conroy, the defenseman for Atlanta. Will find Burns along the left wing. He'll snap it to the right wing for Francis. They'll put it up ice where it's turned over to Bardero. Crowd by Gill. So the Bears work their way out to center once more. Bodies there for Atlanta. They have the puck once again. Denemy slides it down the left wing wall in hopes of finding Burns. Off the corner wall, Denemy takes the feed from Burns as it jumbles to Conroy. He will center. Along the goal line is Denemy. Pulls away from the pressure. Sets up Conroy for a shot. From the wall, it stretches wide. Now at the right point, it's less. Flinging it down low to Burns. Glances off his stick and is wired out to center, where it's regained by the Gladiators. 1:04 left in period 1. Francis at his own blue line. Chucks it back to Les. Gladiators will get a change here as we enter the final minute of period 1. McNamee over the red line. Tattoos it off the end wall. It'll chip to Britt. They'll lob it up to neutral ice for Bird. In front of the scorer's table, slugs it down to Hyder, who comes out to play it. Puck sputters between the circles. Carabia takes it to the neutral zone. Pass to the left wing, finds McNamee, returns it to the inside for Carabia. Hit his stick and went wide. Unger might have gotten a piece of it as well. Walter rides up to the right point, drifts across the line where he's shaken down by Luchuk. Gladiators forced out to center with 20 seconds left in the first period. They're forced to just fire it in and get another change. Solar Bears will wait behind Unger. Handling it is Britt. It looks like Orlando just content to ride out the clock here as the first period will come to a close. And wait a minute here. With 2 seconds to go, Sylvester forced a turnover. Gladiators centered. There's half a second left on the clock, and they blew the whistle. They might have had some time there.
Yeah, they certainly had some time there. Really nice job by Cody Sylvester. Forcing that turnover. He had Joey Cipollone wide open in the high slot, who's looking for a one-timer, but it looks like we're going to call the period over here.
And so, both teams are off to the locker room. And that will be the end of the first period. Strangest ending I've seen to a period in quite some time, but all in all, it is a 1-1 tie after one. Gladiators strike first off of Alex Young's 25th of the season. Solar Bears respond with 2:35 to go in the opening frame as Cole Kodzi is able to put in goal number 9 on the season to tie us up after one. Coming up next is the first intermission report. Andrew will be joined by Shelby Rabideau to break down the first period and look ahead to the second, as well as other action here on a Thursday night in Duluth. All that coming up on the other side of the break. Once again, it's Atlanta 1 and Orlando 1. We're back after this.
Kind of feels like everyone's trying to copy the $5 biggie bag. So how can you spot a knockoff? It won't taste like Wendy's. This job is easy. When the deal is as fresh as the meal, gotta be Wendy's.
Gotta be fresh.
Gwinnett Fire and Emergency Services is ready to answer the call, but we'd rather prevent them. Our free home safety survey includes checking smoke alarms, identifying common hazards, and reviewing your family's home escape plan. Schedule yours today.
Wendy's has new chicken tenders. Crispy, juicy, tendery tendies. Ooh, that's fun to say. Tendies, tendies, tendies. And they're so good, maybe we should change our... For tendies you're gonna know by name, gotta be Wendy's.
Need to build a professional brand? Alpha Graphics delivers with stunning signage, graphics, and marketing materials that are exactly what you need to earn clients' trust. Alpha Graphics. Bring your brand to life.
All right, everyone, welcome back to Gas South Arena. Shelby Rabideau here with Andrew Fleming, and we're going to be breaking down everything that happened in that first period. But first, let's check in with our scores. It is tied up here in Duluth, 1-1. The Atlanta Gladiators have 11 shots on goal, and the Orlando Solar Bears have 3 shots on goal. Andrew, let's talk about what you saw so far in that first period.
Yeah, I thought the Gladiators really came out with a good start. Talked about it a little bit in the pregame with Guy. Wanted to see them really take that momentum in the first 10 minutes of the period, and I thought they did. Obviously, they got out to the lead, but Orlando strikes late in that first period off of a good rush, and we're tied after one.
Yeah, and I want to talk about the importance of a good start for the Gladiators here. And as you can see, they did get the first goal of the night. And when they score first, they usually have a record of 28-1-1 when doing so.
Yeah, you know, scoring the first goal is absolutely huge for this team. They're able to get out to a lead, and usually, allergy season. We're dealing with it. But usually when the Gladiators get out to that early lead, they're usually able to either sustain it or extend it. Obviously, here in this first period, Orlando able to get one back to tie it up. But the Gladiators really good with the lead, and hopefully they can try and get back out to that lead in the second period.
And do you want to break down that first goal from Alex Young for us?
Yeah, I'd absolutely love to, because it was just a beautiful, picture-perfect goal by the Gladiators. It starts on a really good zone entry by Cody Sylvester, cutting across the middle, right through the center of the blue line. Hits Joey Cipollone on the outside, and then Sylvester drives the net to draw a defenseman with him going to the net, which opens up Alex Young to find some quiet space in the high slot. Cipollone, recognizing that, slides the puck right back to the inside of Young. And Young, one-timer, just inside the far post. able to give the Gladiators the early lead. Just a perfect execution on a 3-on-2 by the Gladiators, and a really good job by that line. Just a perfect passing play.
And Alex Young has had quite the season this year. 25 goals so far, and he leads in points for the team. So as of right now, 55 with that goal today, and he has 25 goals, 30 assists.
Yeah, he's been absolutely huge for this line. You know, obviously earlier in the season, the Gladiators lost Louis Boudon, who kind of was playing the role that Alex Young is playing now. And Young's just kind of come in, had more of an elevated role, it seems like, since Boudon left, and he's really just kind of ran with it. And he's just been absolutely superb for this team all season. He's really just been the driving force on that line. It feels like him and Sylvester have played together a lot this season, and they really seem to be clicking. And now they got Cipolone in the middle of that line, and they've just been buzzing since they've been put together.
And it's been a great first period here so far. As we saw, the Solar Bears didn't get their first shot on goal until 8 minutes into the period, but they did end up tying this game up. Do you want to walk us through the goal from the Solar Bears?
Yeah, it was a tough turnover by the Gladiators in the neutral zone, which leads to a 2-on-1 for the Solar Bears coming back the other way. And it's Logan Britt, the defenseman, jumping up in the rush. And Gladiators defenseman Chad Nychuk was the only one back on the 2-on-1. He goes down to try and block the pass with his body, but Britt recognizes that, throws a nice little saucer pass right over the stick of Nychuk, and it lands right on the tape of Cole Codsey back door, who's able to chip that one on his backhand just over the glove of Hyder. Orlando was really getting a lot of the pressure coming against them in that first period, and they were able to turn that one on the Gladiators and tie this game up on which seemed to be their only high danger chance of the period. So good on the Solar Bears for striking while the iron's hot and tying this game back.
Now, I want to bring up the Kelly Cup playoffs for a second here. Right now, the Gladiators stand at third in the division, underneath the South Carolina Stingrays. So the Gladiators have, let me see here, I wrote down that the Gladiators haven't been in the playoffs since 2022, and they haven't won a game since 2013. The Gladiators have 81 points, so they're third in division, and the Stingrays have 83. So I want to see how you think that how important is this game when it comes to getting home ice advantage when it comes to the playoffs?
Yeah, so if we're looking at the South Division standings here, looking at it on the Gladiators app, everyone should go download the Gladiators app. It is a great reference. You're trying to keep up with the team, stats, records,
it would have been
everything
a lot
else going
easier
around.
to look at that than trying to find it in my notes here.
Yeah, so right now, it looks like Florida's going to end up taking this division at first with 63 games played. They're all the way up at 92 points. It's going to be really tough for both South Carolina and Atlanta to catch the Everblades at this point in the season. And then he goes down to South Carolina with 63 games played. They have 83 points, and just below them is your Gladiators, 61 games played and 81 points. So it looks like the Gladiators are going to end up playing South Carolina, because in fourth place right now, it looks like it's a race between Savannah and Jacksonville. Savannah coming in with 62 points and Jacksonville coming in with 58. So it looks like those two teams, along with maybe Greenville, fighting for that last spot in the division. But obviously, Gladiators already clinched. They're going to be in the playoffs, and it looks like they're going to play South Carolina. But the Gladiators with 2 games in hand on South Carolina and only 2 points down, so they could tie the Stingrays in points tonight with a win tonight, obviously giving them 2 points to tie them up, and then the Gladiators would have a game in hand. So this is a big one for the Gladiators to try and jump South Carolina, because we've talked about how good this team has been on home ice this season. You want that home ice advantage in the first round of the playoffs, because you'd start off with 2 games at home, and then if it ends up coming to a Game 7, that's on home ice, which is absolutely huge. If it ends up being a Game 7 on home ice, which it very well could be between South Carolina and Atlanta, they play very tight games. That could be a back-and-forth series. You want to play the majority of the games at home, because you are such a good team, and you have a better chance of winning at home.
All right, well, hopefully they get the memo that tonight is a very important game. Now, every time we're here, I ask a question, and I already know the answer to this for you, but okay. I want to ask everyone in the YouTube live chat what their plans are for this weekend, since we are playing on a Thursday night here at Gas South Arena. Like I said, me and Andrew are going to be here all weekend, but what are y'all doing? Let us know in the YouTube live chat, and we'll talk about what we want to see in that second period. Once again, we are tied here 1-1 at Gas South Arena. We will see you after the break.
We're 20, and yeah, we're celebrating big. Because in 20 years, we didn't just make the gear, We made hockey cooler. They said we were too loud, too flashy, too different. They told us to tone it down. The Warriors don't tone it down. We go full throttle. And this is just the start. 20 years in and we're just getting warmed up. We're still the brand that makes the gear you can win in, chirping, partying. And if you thought we were bold before, just wait. The next 20 years start now.
Life's too short for ordinary whiskey. Make it infamous.
Now available at Mega Package Store, 2820 Lawrenceville, Sewanee, Oregon, 4 miles from Gas South Arena.
Welcome back to Gas South Arena. Shelby Rabideau here with Andrew Fleming. We're going to talk about what we want to see in this second period, but once again, we are tied here in Duluth, 1-1. Atlanta has 11 shots on goal, and the Orlando Solar Bears have 3. Now, before we went to break, I asked everyone what their plans are for this weekend. Andrew and I are going to be here all weekend, but you know, you love what you do, you don't mind it. So before we get into the YouTube live chat, let's talk about what you want to see in this second period.
Yeah, I'd like to see the Gladiators continue most of what they did in that first period. Obviously, they had a bad turnover in the neutral zone that ended up in the back of their net that Orlando was able to capitalize on, but I really liked what they did in the offensive zone, the Gladiators. Talked about it a little bit last weekend, how I wanted to see them do a better job of getting shots through from the point, and I really saw that tonight so far in that first period. You know, they get the puck up top. Seemed like it was Nychuk a couple of times. Orzek, who I mentioned in the first, or pregame show, I should say. Really good job of defensemen taking their time and getting shots through to the net. Didn't count too many block shots for Orlando, which bodes very well for this Atlanta defensive crew that's trying to get those shots through from the point. So in this second period, keep cycling it up to the D, keep getting shots on goal. And I really like the Gladiators forwards were doing when the puck got up top. They were crashing the net and looking for tips. They had a couple of really nice tipped shots that either just went wide or Unger was able to fight off. So look for the Gladiators forwards to keep going to the net when the puck gets up top to the D-men.
Now I have to ask you, do you think Orlando's going to come out here a bit more aggressive in the second period and kind of playing to keep their heads in this game?
Yeah, you know, you think they would. Orlando obviously spent a lot of that first period in their own zone. They're going to go back into the room, they're going to regroup, and they're going to come out more aggressive in that second period and try and push the offense towards the Gladiators a little bit more, try and play a little bit more in their end in the second.
Is there anything that the Gladiators can do to keep, you know, Orlando from taking this game?
Yeah, I think the Gladiators just try and take care of the puck a little bit more. Couple of turnovers in the neutral zone that Orlando was able to jump on and carry into the Gladiator zone. So just trying to clean it up a little bit more on the breakout and in the neutral zone, get into the offensive zone a little bit cleaner, and then just kind of go from there. You know, just kind of clean it up in your own zone in the neutral zone, because once the Gladiators get into the offensive zone, they're cooking from there. They're looking really good in the offensive zone, so just look for them to clean it up a little bit in their own zone and in the neutral zone.
All right, well, there's still a lot of hockey left to play, and there's still a lot of weekend left.
There's so much weekend left.
Let's see what everyone is doing in the YouTube live chat when it comes to this weekend.
Let's see, Rebecca, I'm going to be at the game tomorrow and maybe Saturday too. So Rebecca's going to be in the building joining Shelby, Guy, and I for tomorrow night. Obviously, we have Atlanta Knights night, honoring the team, the former IHL team in Atlanta, the Knights. And then Saturday is the big one that I think we're going to get a really big crowd for. It's Thrashers night here in Gas South, which personally I'm really excited for.
You know, we saw merch.
I did. I went down to the merch stand today. We already got our Thrashers merch up there. I got myself some Thrashers merch. I saw the jerseys that they're going to be wearing Saturday night. Look just like the old Thrashers jersey. So it's going to be a really cool, nostalgic weekend for Atlanta hockey fans, honoring those former teams that came from Atlanta.
Yeah, there's a lot of good stuff in the merch store. Unfortunately, I left my wallet at home, and it's not on purpose, because I would have got something, because there's a lot. Everything looks super vintage, and I love that aesthetic of it. So if you're heading to the game, any of the games this weekend, definitely stop by the merch store and get yourself something.
Or also at the team store online. I was looking on the team store online too a little bit. They got a lot of the same stuff that's in the merch store here. So if you're looking for some Atlanta Knights, some Atlanta Thrashers merch, or just Gladiators merch too,
That's
make
good
sure
to
to either
know.
hit the team store in person here at Gas South or head online, hit the team store online, get yourself some merch because it came out really nice. I got myself a Gladiator, well, of course it is the Gladiators, but a Thrashers crew neck today. It looks sweet,
Yeah.
nice little vintage
I'm a
look
little
on the
bit
Thrashers.
jealous.
Yeah, so it's just a really exciting weekend here at Gas South. I'm really excited to see the crowds we get tomorrow night, and
it should be an
especially
amazing
Saturday night because Thrashers night, usually it's a really packed house here, and so we're hoping to see a lot of you guys in the chat here. At least if you can't make it tomorrow night for Knight's night, at least make it Saturday for Thrashers night because it's going to be a great
you
one.
don't want to miss.
And they're welcoming the Jacksonville Icemen back on Saturday night. They always seem to play tight, gritty games against Jacksonville, so it's going to be a fun one to watch. Let's see what else is going on in the chat here. Red Wings fan 713 watching March Madness and baseball. Yep, MLB opening day today.
Yeah, no, Braves opening day is tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of the other MLB teams kicked it off today.
Sorry.
My Red Sox won, so I'm happy. That's all I care about.
That's good. I got to check in on those Detroit Tigers.
And March Madness, obviously, it is March. March Madness, second weekend of that starting tonight, I believe. Got a couple of games Friday, Saturday, Sunday, so a lot of basketball going on. Just a great time for sports right now. Obviously, we have your Gladiators clinching the playoff spot, finishing out the regular season, heading to the playoffs, but then you got March Madness, NBA, NHL playoff races. So March is just a great month for sports. You know, it's a really exciting time of year.
The weather's warming
Yep.
up. You got good sports. You know, life is looking up again.
The pollen's back. I'm fighting allergies like crazy right now, if you couldn't tell.
Maybe life isn't looking up for you in that department.
No, but we're
everything
figuring it out.
else is
Bear
good.
with me. Let's see. Yep, Justin Burke was watching some baseball. Love to hear it. MLB opening day today. And Justin Burke says the second period surge is ready. That's what we're looking for in the second period for the Gladiators.
How could we forget to mention the second
I
period
know.
surge?
Well, we're not used to such an eventful first period. It feels like
That's
every first
true.
period we have, it's 0-0 at the end
It
of
was
one.
16
We had a lot to talk about in
scoreless
this first
periods.
intermission. It was a very, very lot going on. Eventful first period
Yes.
for the Gladiators and the Solar Bears.
And hoping for an eventful second period here. It looks like the Gladiators are getting ready to just about hit this ice for the second period. Once again, it is tied here in Duluth 1-1. Atlanta is out shooting the Solar Bears 11-3. And Guy will join Andrew to do a play-by-play of the game when we come back from the break.
More than just cookies.
Desserts now in rotation.
Why choose between getting things done and doing things with the ones you love? With Kroger same-day pickup and delivery, it's easy to shop the same great prices and quality you'd find in-store, so you can catch more family time. We'll bring your groceries right to you, satisfaction guaranteed, so you can spend time on what matters most. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
We are set for second period action between the Gladiators and the Solar Bears, all tied up at 1 after 1. Atlanta's goal scored by Alex Young in the opening 5 minutes. Solar Bears goal scored by Cole Conzi in the final 5 minutes of the first period. Gladiators looking to get their lead back here early on at the top of period number 2. Glads fans, spice it up at Freddy's by trying the new Mike's Hot Honey Chicken Sandwich or chicken tenders and new molten chocolate cake shake. Check it all out at Freddy's on 2230 Peachtree Industrial Boulevard. And the final 2 minutes of the second period will be Freddy's frozen minutes. And the Gladiators do score in the final 2 minutes of the period. Everyone in attendance will receive one free mini custard at Freddy's on Peachtree Industrial Boulevard. And the Gladiators did score a goal in the final 2 minutes of Sunday's game against Savannah. Mike McNamee scored it on the power play. And it was another Gladiators second period surge. The second period is the Gladiators' best scoring period this season. We'll see if they can get back to that formula again here today and take the lead. Both teams back out onto the ice. Gladiators wearing their white jerseys with blue numbers and Gladiator gold trim. They will skate from left to right in the second period. The Solar Bears are wearing black jerseys with white numbers and purple trim. They will be skating from right to left in period number 2. Carson Denemy will meet Tyler Drevich at center circle for the opening draw. Teammates a year ago, now on the other side of it here tonight. Drevich wins it. Schmaggy puts it up the ice, handled by Les between the two rings, and jolted upwards to Burns. Tries to slide his way by Cooper, ends up getting taken to the end wall. Trying to fish the puck free is Denemy. Burns in the area as well. Solar Bears have done a good job of pinning this up against the boards. Schmaggy leaks it to Drevich, who ends up icing the puck 29 seconds into period 2. One of the Gladiators' biggest strengths this season from their bottom 6, Andrew, I feel like, is their ability to forecheck.
Yep. Yeah, we've seen that so much from the Gladiators' bottom 6 this season, especially Mickey Burns and Carson Denemy. It feels like every time those two are on the ice, they're able to chip the puck in deep, and they're making the opposing team's defensemen pay for going back and getting that puck. They're just crushing guys below the goal line and creating turnovers and creating scoring opportunities off their forecheck.
I would add Ethan Scardina and Ryan Nolan in that category as well. Nolan's still out with an injury. He has missed the last 5 games. Solar Bears win the defensive zone face-off. Young working hard, tries to create a turnover at the end wall. Does do just that. At the right point is Nychuk for a shot. Diving to block it was Cooper. Another shot from the left wing, turned away by Unger off the stick of Gaudette. So the Bears try and work their way up ice, but it's another hold from Cipollone. Young right wing centers. Quick delay to Sylvester off the stick of Nychuk. Captain off balance, couldn't get a shot off. It's taken to the end wall. Solar Bears drift the puck up and out in what will be another icing. 1:08 into period 2.
Really good start for the Gladiators in this second period, just pinning Orlando in the zone, forcing 2 straight icings. Tired couple of Orlando Solar Bears stuck on the ice here early in this second period. Gladiators send out the O'Brien line, try and make them strike here against a group of tired Solar Bears.
Yeah, this is the same line that the Solar Bears started with to begin the period. Already been out there for 1 minute and 8 seconds. Face off to the right of Unger. It'll be O'Brien against Drevich. And O'Brien does win it. Sets up Walter in the high slot. Delayed to Gaudette. Holds and shoots. Floated on goal for a glove save by Unger. And he will stop the clock, and the Solar Bears can finally get a change.
Yeah, nice job by Unger there. Getting that one in the glove, getting the freeze, and allowing his guys to get a change in who had been stuck out there for over a minute.
I like that shot by Gaudette, too. The Gladiators had a bit of a screen going on there in front of Unger. Gaudette tries to just float that one up and see if he can drop right in front of Unger, but he's a smart fella. Connor Unger is under contract with the Edmonton Oilers as Walter snaps a shot that is turned away by the Solar Bear netminder. Puck goes to the far wall and is carried out to center by Bardero. Skating down the right wing, puts a shot wide of Hyder. Now at the left wing, it is pinched back in deep by Britt. Into the near corner it goes. Gaudette is there. Solar Bears try and squeak their way by. End up tossing it back to the point, where Britt is pestered by Walter. O'Brien in the area as well as the Gladiators exit the zone. Walter tries to drive down the right wing wall, stood up by Britt. McNamee has it from behind the net. Swoops out to the far wing, puts it to the line. Cross ice for Carabia. He shoots, kick, save made by Unger. Another bid by Orr is intercepted by Bardero. Twisted over the attacking line to Wilson, where the puck is scrubbed off his stick by Carabia. Beating out the icing is Scardina from the near corner. Centers for a chance. Irie tried to stab it into the back of the net, but just didn't get enough on it. The Solar Bears will ice the puck again in a hurry as we are 2:23 into the second period.
Yeah, really nice job there by Ethan Scardina, beating out that icing. And they almost found Irie in the slot there for a good opportunity, but a really good job by Scardina negating that icing by winning that race to get that puck.
Face off on the near circle. Cipollone will take this draw against Bardero. Joey Cipollone scored the game-winning goal on Sunday A 5-on-3 power play against Savannah. Carabia takes a long bid, kicked away by Unger into the far corner. Scardina hard on the forecheck, as we mentioned earlier. Tried to wreak some havoc. Solar Bears in a panic, fluttered it to the neutral zone, and then steered it in off the stick of Wilson to complete a line change. Puck drifts out to center, handled by Ladyman, the newest acquisition by the Solar Bears. Signed with Orlando today. Tonight is his first professional game. Breezing by him is Irie. Slings it to the trapezoid for Cipollone. Centered for a pass behind Scardina. Momentum carries the puck out to the neutral zone. Gladiators regroup and reload. Cipollone off the right wing wall. Tried to launch Scardina into action. Ended up glancing off his stick where it's gathered by Allen. They'll look up the ice and slot it down the left wing. Luchuk, quick pass. Tried to find a man on the run. Scampering down the left wing wall is Massimo Lombardi. Gets checked hard. Divorced from the puck. Held in at the left point by Kodzi. Back below the goal line to Lombardi. Now at the right point. Schmaggy to Cooper. Left wing shot blocked in front of the net. Conroy getting the job done there. Now it is Francis motoring out to the neutral zone. Puck stabbed off his stick and gathered by Orlando. Schmaggy will roll it back to his D partner Cooper. Put up the ice to Bruder. Return to Schmaggy. Quick give and go. Trying to find McMullen. Ends up going to the slot for Bruder. Gladiators having a tough time grabbing the puck here. Solar Bears digging their way in deep. From low to high, Schmaggy shoots wide of Hyder. Solar Bears had a screen in front of the net there. Puck bounces to the near side. Bruder puts it wide of the net. Kodzi on the right wing slides it to the trapezoid and now the near corner. Bruder has it with some open space. Orzak quickly takes it away. End up along the near corner. Francis in the area as well. Winning that board battle are the Solar Bears. At the right point, Brits to Cooper and into the far corner. This is the most zone time Orlando's had all night long, and it just comes to an end as Francis rolls it through the neutral zone, and the Gladiators will get a change in. 15-10 left in period 2. Sylvester in the neutral zone creates a turnover and skitters the puck into the far corner. Gill behind his own net keeps it away from the Gladiators captain. Good forecheck here from Atlanta. Forces the Solar Bears to flip the script and send it to the far wall. They'll drift it to the near, where it's collected by Nychuk. They'll steer it to the neutral zone, wanting Sylvester. Glances off his stick, grabbed by Drevich. Sylvester gets it back for a shot that is stopped by Unger. And he will haul that one in with 14:40 left on the clock in the second.
Yeah, really good forecheck there by Alex Young, forcing that turnover on the Solar Bear defenseman. Frees that one up for Cody Sylvester, who's able to skate that one into the high slot. Put a nice shot on goal, but a nice save by Unger to keep this one tied.
Face off on the near circle. It is going to be Alex Young, Joey Cipollone, and Cody Sylvester on the ice as the forward group. Cipollone will take this draw against Bardero. Nychuk and Gaudet manning the back end. Bardero victorious at the dot for Orlando. Cipollone's stick broke on that play as the Solar Bears come charging in on the left side. Stood up at the point by Young. Gladiators take the puck back in. Nychuk finds Sylvester on the run with some separation, cuts to the goal and centers. Pass behind the intended target as Cipollone was streaking towards the net, and the Solar Bears quickly move in transition. Bardero to Ladyman. Pass a bit behind. Jolts it to the trapezoid. It's reeled in by Wilson. Shipped to the right circle for a chance. Kicked away by Hyder. Lucas Savages trying to take that shot there. Puck out to center. Once again, collected by the Solar Bears. Orlando with a little bit more life and juice here in the second period. As we mentioned before, a lot of newcomers into the lineup as we have a penalty here. And it looks like it is going to go against the Gladiators. Mike McNamee to the box. Orlando to the power play. Gladiators on the Beaver Toyota Mazda penalty kill when we return.
It's game day and Bucky's ready for action. From the moment he pulls up, it's all smiles, high fives, and Beaver Toyota pride. A quick stop for snacks and he's game ready. The energy in the arena starts to build because when Beaver Toyota and the Gladiators team up, The fun and excitement never stop. Catch Bucky at the next Gladiators game or visit us anytime at beavertoyotacoming.com.
One all here in Duluth. Solar Bears looking to take the lead with 13:47 left in the second. Mike McNamee in the box for Atlanta, 2-4 slashing as the Solar Bears on their second power play of the night. The Gladiators already 1 for 1 tonight on the Beaver Toyota Mazda penalty kill. Solar Bears operate at the line. Britt to the right wing for Bardero, takes the return feed, slings it to his left. Wilson's bid blocked by Irie and sent out to center. And so the rookie Irie in his first pro game getting a good look here on the PK, pestering Britt in the neutral zone, forces a turnover. Solar Bears drop it in a panic. Hyder slows it down to Conroy. They'll skate up the near side boards, maneuver through center, find O'Brien up ice for a shot, save made by Unger. Good look there, short-handed for the Gladiators. Solar Bears catch back up to it. 1:18 left on the penalty to McNamee. Bird lugs it down the left wing, pulls up at the point, scans his options. Didn't like what he saw, so he puts it to the line for Britt. Sauce to the right wing for Bardero, return to Britt. Left wing pass on the money for Wilson, but he is pestered by Carabia and forced out to the neutral zone. So their Bears will try again. Luchuk in, centers for Bardero, toe drag shot off the post, and it stays out. Britt in the high slot as it glance off the stick of Denemy, and what a play there from Carson Denemy. Hits his stick, bounces out of the zone. Solar Bears are offside on the re-entry with 45 seconds left on the penalty.
Yeah, really good start to this kill for the Gladiators. Doing a really good job of recognizing when to be aggressive and when to not be aggressive. Really good job attacking one-on-one situations and forcing the puck out of the zone. Great hockey IQ, great awareness by the Gladiators early in this kill.
Feels like Carson Denemy has really elevated his play as of late, especially when it comes to the play away from the puck. You saw it on that last sequence there. Cipollone, Nychuk, Burns, and Gaudette on the ice for Atlanta here. Barreling down the left wing is McMullen for Orlando. Tries to center, hits a body. Overskated by Lombardi. Held in at the line by Gill. Tries to spin away from the coverage of Burns. Shot by McMullen. Turned away and sent to the far wall. Now at the right point it is Gill. Deeper down the wall to Lucas Savages. Centered for a chance, and robbing Lombardi is Hyder. Puck at the line. Shot goes wide. McNamee out of the box. Gladiators are 2 for 2 on the Beaver Toyota Mazda penalty kill. Carrying it up the ice is Burns. Takes a shot high and wide. Links off the wall away from McNamee. Skated to center by Lombardi. McNamee tries to lift it back into Solar Bear ice. Burns was there, but it didn't find him. And now Cooper, rookie defenseman for Orlando, slugs it to the right wing where it's dropped in, and the Solar Bears will get a change. 11:19 on the clock in the second. Walter scurries over the red line, tries to cut inside, but he's scrubbed off it. Pinching is O'Brien. Puck leaks to the end wall. McNamee is there, pinned up by Schmaggy. Solar Bears defenseman trying to find an avenue out. Gets some help from Cooper, who puts it to the line. Held in by Les, slapped across to Conroy. Knifed in deeper to McNamee in the near corner. He is pinned up by Cooper. Puck drifts to Kodzi. Solar Bears try and chip it out. And moving through center is Kodzi. Pushes it to the right wing. Tried to find Cooper. Les gets in front of that one, and the Gladiators repossess. Les finds O'Brien over the attacking line. Quick pass to the left wing. Irie shoots and is stopped by Unger. Great chance for his first pro goal. Moving in transition, and Unger is able to make the stop. Both teams having chances on the rush in this game. Solar Bears scoring on theirs. As they'll push it to the right wing for Bardero. Dropped off for a shot. Hyder stops it off the long try from Allen. Puck into the far corner. Denemy tries to slink away from Bardero and does. Sets up Francis on the run. Skates over center circle. Plops it into the near corner. Feels some contact on the way. Pins it up along the wall. 3 more Gladiators and Solar Bears in the area as well as Francis just glide his way up the wall with Denemy in the area. Solar Bears are able to strip the puck away and skate to center circle where they lob it on goal to Hyder, who hauls in the bouncer with 9:35 left in the second. Game opening up a bit, but remains a 1-1 tie. We'll see if the Gladiators can take their lead back when we return to Gas South Arena.
We're 20, and yeah, we're celebrating big. Because in 20 years, we didn't just make the gear. We made hockey cooler. They said we were too loud, too flashy, too different. They told us to tone it down. The Warriors don't tone it down. We go full throttle. And this is just the start. 20 years in and we're just getting warmed up. We're still the brand that makes the gear you can win in, chirping and partying. And if you thought we were bold before, just wait. The next 20 years start now.
Life's too short for ordinary whiskey. Make it infamous.
Now available at Mega Package Store, 2820 Lawrenceville, Sewanee, Oregon, 4 miles from Gas South Arena.
First game of a 3-game set here at home for the Gladiators. 11 games to go in the regular season, including this one. 7 of those will be in this building. Shout out to some of our fans who commenting on our YouTube chat and are in the building as well. Glad to have you guys here, and good to see Penn Campbell back in the house for Hockey Heritage Weekend. And Knights night tomorrow night. Thrashers night on Saturday. Should be a lot of fun. Get your tickets at AtlantaGladiators.com if you have not already. Puck in the Gladiators zone. Atlanta looking to end that. They'll skate it out to center. Sylvester plugs it to the left wing for Young. He'll jam his way down to the end wall. Try to connect with Sylvester along the near side boards. Reversed back to Young in the corner where he is all squashed up by Britt. Puck goes up high. Caribia across to Nychuk. Takes the return feed. Delays to Nychuk. Drifts his way down deeper to Caribia. Centering pass for a shot on goal. Kicked away by Unger. Caribia up top to Sylvester. Long bid blocked in front. Young tries to stuff it in. Loose in the slot. Sipple on a try. That gets blocked by Gill. Now at the left point, it's Nychuk again. Downhill to Sipolo. Steered behind the net to Young. He'll rotate it back to the right point for Caribia. Across for Nychuk. He'll hold and shoot. Ends up making its way to Young, who grabs it and takes it to the outside. From the far wall, slots it to the trapezoid. Jumps up the boards and out the center. And the Gladiators will get possession back. Caribia and Nychuk head off, but oh boy, did those two look good on that last shift. Stretch pass finds Walter, but he's shaken down on the back check by Cooper. Puck drifts out to center again. Gaudette bangs it around the boards to the near side. O'Brien takes a stab at it, gets it to McNamee from the goal line, tries to center. Pass is cut off by Bruder. Walter is able to divorce him from the puck, plugs it to the line, cross ice to Orzek. He'll hold, angle it off the end wall, hits the backside of the net for Walter. The Swedish forward spins it back behind the net for McNamee. On his forehand, scans the slot, plays it to the right point for Orzek. Down to the left wing, Gaudette shoots, tipped, and in! Jack O'Brien with the deflection, and the Gladiators have a 2-1 lead.
You felt like the way the Gladiators had been moving the last couple of minutes, one was eventually going to end up in the back of the net, and it does. Great point shot there. Looked like that one might have been tipped out in front. The Gladiators regain their lead.
It was O'Brien camped out in the slot, and I believe it was he who got a stick on it to put it in the back of the net off the long-range try from Cam Gaudet. He picks up his first ECHL point on that play. And Jack O'Brien has goal number 23 on the season. And in the pregame show, Andrew, we talked about the Gladiators getting a little bit more scoring from their defense as of late. First, it was that Nychuk-Carabia pairing that was buzzing. Then you see Gaudet factor in with that shot and the tip on the O'Brien goal. Gladiators right back to work. Into the far corner they go. Irie behind the net. Hangs on and distributes to the line. Less to Conroy. Slugs it to the slot. Nobody home for a tip that time. Will climb up to the near side. Steered deeper by Les. Scardina along the end wall. Shaken down by the Solar Bears. Irie gets it back for a shot. Save made by Unger. Puck loose between the circles and the Solar Bears will clear. And so does O'Brien from Gaudet and Orzek. That goal coming with 7:28 left in the second period to give the Gladiators the 2-1 lead.
Just an absolute offensive zone clinic by the Gladiators. Those last two shifts before the goal, they just had Orlando running around like chickens with their heads cut off in their own zone, while the Gladiators were snapping the puck around the Orlando Solar Bears there, and eventually ends up in the back of the net. Just great job by the Gladiators those last two shifts.
Gladiators win the offensive zone draw. Nychuk around the net. Lugs it to the right point. Francis reverses around the horn to the left wing. Activating from the line is Orr. Tried to knife his way towards the slot. Hit a stick on the way. Solar Bears drag it to center. And on the back check is Orr. Nipping that play in the bud. Puck rolls down to Hyder. And the Gladiators have possession again. Francis flies down the right wing. Charges behind the net. All the way around the zone. Up to the high slot. He'll shoot. Blocked by Lucas Savages. He'll carry it by Francis. Creates some separation. Left circle across. Wilson couldn't get the shot off. Bit off balance. Takes it to the end wall. Puck is spat to the near corner. Cooper to Wilson behind the net. Centered off a stick to Denemy. His exit attempt hits another skate. Is regained by Bardero. He'll go behind the net on his backhand. Emerge on the far side. Will drift across the line, put it to the slot, knifed into the near corner for Wilson. Trying to go from low to high, but Schmaggy not ready for the pass. Gonna have to track it down. Pretty clear for the Gladiators, and we'll get a change here. On comes the Cipollone, Young, and Sylvester line. As the Solar Bears look to escape their own end. Here's a turnover. Young created it. Slings it to the right wing for Cipollone. Puck bounces in the near corner. Lombardi stabs it out to center. Handled by Carabia. Sauced up ice to Cipollone. Inside to Sylvester with some separation as he fires wide. All alone was Cody Sylvester. Just missed the mark on that one. Here is Lombardi to the left wing for Bird. Off the corner wall back to Lombardi. The rookie slammed into the end boards by Carabia. Gladiators with it once again. Cipollone to Young over the red line, and now Solar Bear blue. Chips it into the near corner. Getting there first is Gill, the Lightning prospect. Tries to slide it up ice. Hits a body on the way. Goes back behind Unger. Solar Bears do clear, but the Gladiators have possession again. 4:29 left in the second period. They spent a lot of time in the Orlando zone. Walter over the attacking line. Tried to stay onside, but momentum carried him over the attacking line. On the feed from Cipollone, and we'll get a whistle with 4:24 left in the second. Gladiators lead 2-1.
We're 20, and yeah, we're celebrating big. Because in 20 years, we didn't just make the gear. We made hockey cooler. They said we were too loud, too flashy, too different. They told us to tone it down. The Warriors don't tone it down. We go full throttle. And this is just the start. 20 years in and we're just getting warmed up. We're still the brand that makes the gear you can win in, chirping, and partying. And if you thought we were bold before, just wait. The next 20 years start now.
Life's too short for ordinary whiskey. Make it infamous.
Now available at Mega Package Store, 2820 Lawrenceville, Sewanee, Oregon. 4 miles from Gas South Arena.
Gladiators have a 2-1 lead with 4:24 left in the second period, thanks to Jack O'Brien's 23rd goal of the season. Now on a 3-game point streak with that goal, 2 goals and 1 assist in that span. O'Brien was acquired by the Gladiators in a trade with the Iowa Heartlanders in late December, and what a pickup that has been. O'Brien now up to 12 goals and 9 assists in 26 games. As a shot, the right wing is stopped by Hyder on Bruder. Puck behind the net, Orzek loses it to Bruder. The Solar Bears centers for a shot. That's blocked. I believe O'Brien got in front of that. Puck below the goal line, centered once more. Bruder was there, but thankfully for the Black Gladiators, that pass did not connect. Momentum carries it all the way back down to Unger. Now it is Kodzi on the left wing, softly to Bruder. Stood up at the Gladiator line, forced to whack it in deep. Behind the net is Nychuk, helping it to the far wall, off a skate or a stick, one or the other. Puck bounces to center. And once again dropped in deep by the Solar Bears, who make a line change. Nychuk to the right wing for Irie. Over the attacking line, pulls up, return to Nychuk, active stick. Gets in front of it, swipes it out to center. Coburn, the Solar Bear that got a stick in front of that. Now along the left wing, Coburn takes it to the end wall. Checked by Nychuk, still hanging on. O'Brien helping out, divorces him from the puck. Now it is Nychuk up ice to Les. Over the red line, tried to find Scardina on the run. Batted out of the air with a hand pass by the Solar Bears. 3:01 on the clock in the second. And now that officially means that we are 1 minute and 1 second away from the Freddy's Frozen Minutes. We have never had a Freddy's Frozen Minutes goal for a home game. We did have one on Sunday. Mike McNamee scored with 15 seconds left in the second period. We'll see if they can get it done in back-to-back games. And for the first time on home ice here, Andrew, who is your pick to score the Freddy's goal if we do see it here today?
I'm going to go Mickey Burns. He's out here right now with Denemy and Francis. He's been a hound on the forecheck all night. I'd like to see him put one in the back of the net in these last 2 minutes.
50 seconds till that. Solar Bears wedge their way into the near corner. Carabia right in the thick of it. The Florida native drifts it to the line, but not out. Right wing for shot, save Hyder. Rebound between the circles, dropped off the Brit for a shot. That hits a stick on the way. Sputters to the line, held in. Gillis shot off a body and away from Hyder. Now here is Burns, the Mercyhurst product, up to the neutral zone for Francis. Lances off his stick and out of play into about the 5th or 6th row on the near side with 2:22 left in the second. Both teams will get a change in personnel. Gladiators will send out that second line again. Cipollone, Young, and Sylvester. Cody Sylvester with an assist on the Young goal to open the scoring is now just 1 assist away from passing Scott Mifsud for 4th most assists in team history. Sylvester picked up assist 194 on the opening score. At center circle, it's Bardero drifting to the right wing. That should have been an offside there, but the Solar Bears do enter and then quickly do exit, so not going to matter there. Young along the right wing tries to put it ahead, hit a body on the way. Cipollone loses a hand on it to Cooper. And Orlando will look to start its next breakout. They'll find Lucas Savages on the right wing wall, trying to center, but the pass a few feet behind Wilson. So Cooper fires from the left wing, that gets blocked. Wilson has the rebound. High slot shot, screeches wide of Hyder, has the rebound to center. Puck sputters to Lombardi, tossed to the line. Wilson down low, Lombardi again to the slot. In and out the other side. Now bang from the right wing off the right pad of Hyder. Cipollone grabs the rebound, and the Gladiators charge up ice. Pass ahead, did not connect with the intended target. Solar Bears reel it back in with 1:15 left in the second. Here in these Freddy's Frozen Minutes. Pass behind the net finds Nychuk, steered up ice to O'Brien. Over the attacking line, sauces it to McNamee. Breaking to the net, fires wide. Now at the right point, Les keeps it in. Back behind the net to McNamee. It's traded off to Walter. Put up high to Nychuk. Back inside to Walter for a shot. Blocked in front. McNamee turns and shoots. Kept out in front of Unger. Solar Bears lob it to center. 40 seconds left in the second period. O'Brien tries to break over the attacking line. Got sandwiched there and stripped of the puck. Trying to go back in on the left wing, but a glance off the stick and go out into the Gladiators bench with 30.3 on the clock.
Yeah, really nice work in the offensive zone of that line of O'Brien, Walter, and McNamee, setting up a couple of good chances there. Really good job on the forecheck, just not able to get one through.
Yep. And I would say, Andrew, the Gladiators, they lead 2-1, but it feels like they really should have a much wider lead than they do. They've outshot the Solar Bears 23-10 in this game, and much of the play has been in the Orlando zone so far tonight.
Yeah, you got to give props to Unger. He's been absolutely huge for Orlando in the net tonight.
The Oilers prospect has stood on his head so far today, giving this last-place Solar Bears team a chance to win. Scardina from the right wing tried to exit his own end. Puck bounces to the trapezoid with 12 seconds left. Snatched by Gaudette. Rolled up ice to Irie. Knocked out to center. 5 seconds to go. Puck will roll in on Unger. He'll keep it alive. And that will conclude the second period in Duluth. So no Freddy's Frozen Minutes goal. No free mini custards today. But it is a 2-1 Gladiators lead after 2. The go-ahead goal scored by Jack O'Brien with 7:28 left in the second from Cam Gaudette and Nolan Orzek is the difference. The Gladiators do lead the shot count 24-9 as they take one off the Orlando count here after 2 periods of play. Coming up next here from Gas South Arena is the second intermission report. Andrew Fleming will be joined by Shelby Rabideau to break down the first 2 periods of play and look ahead to the third as the Gladiators look to skate to victory and pick up their 40th win of the season. All that coming up on the other side of the break, so stick around for the second intermission report coming up after this.
More than just cookies.
Desserts now in rotation.
Why choose between getting things done and doing things with the ones you love? With Kroger's same-day pickup and delivery, it's easy to shop the same great prices and quality you'd find in-store, so you can catch more family time. We'll bring your groceries right to you, satisfaction guaranteed, so you can spend time on what matters most. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
All right, everyone, welcome back to Gas South Arena. Shelby Rabideau here with Andrew Fleming. We're going to be talking about everything that happened in that second period. But first, let's check in with our scores. Atlanta Gladiators 2 with 24 shots on goal, and the Orlando Solar Bears 1 with 9 shots on goal. Now, Andrew, I wouldn't say it was really a second period surge, but at least the Gladiators got 1 goal there.
Yeah, it was certainly a surge on the ice, maybe not quite on the scoreboard. Gladiators still put one in the back of the net, take a 2-1 lead into the intermission, but it just felt like, again, they completely controlled the pace of play in that second period. They spent a lot of time in the Orlando defensive zone, especially leading to that second goal, but not necessarily a second period surge on the scoreboard, but definitely on the ice for the Gladiators. It was a great period all around for them.
What would you say you saw from the Gladiators in this second period that you want to see in that third?
Well, a little bit of what I talked about, what I wanted to see them kind of improve on after the first period, was getting out of their zone cleanly and through the neutral zone cleanly. I thought they did a really good job of that in that second period. Orlando didn't really have much sustained zone time, maybe a minute here or there, but nothing what like the Gladiators had leading to that second goal. They were able to break out of their zone cleanly, get through the neutral zone pretty cleanly, and then once they got in the offensive zone, it was just an absolute clinic by the Gladiators. They were moving the puck all around the zone. They were getting it up high. They were getting it down low. They were getting in the slot. They were getting a lot of opportunities off the rush. They were just doing a lot of things very well in that second period, and I would love to see it continue in the third.
Is there anyone that stuck out to you in that second period?
You know what? That's a really good question. I'm going to go with that. The top two lines for the Gladiators, the line of McNamee, O'Brien, and Walter, and then that second line with Sylvester, Cipollone, and Young. Those two lines really were the ones who came together and produced that goal for the Gladiators. It started with that second line of Sylvester, Cipollone, and Young. They had a really good shift in the offensive zone. They pinned the Solar Bears in their zone for a couple of minutes with Karabia and Nychuk up top. Those five as a unit just worked really well together. They had Orlando pinned for a couple of minutes, and then Orlando was able to chip the puck out. And then the first line of McNamee, O'Brien, and Walter got out there, and it was the same thing. They were able to move the puck around really well. Eventually, the puck gets up to the point to Gaudette. He puts a shot on net. I believe it was O'Brien who tipped it. Puck in the back of the net. 2-1 lead for the Gladiators. Just a really good tandem work by those top two lines, just keeping up the momentum and the pressure on the Solar Bears to give the Gladiators the lead.
Do you want to talk about the run-through of that goal?
Yeah, it was just a really nice job by that first line. It was a really good forecheck. They're able to get the puck out high. It comes across to Gaudette. And Gaudette, as I've talked about before, defensemen getting shots through from the point. They've done a really good job of that here tonight. I talked about a little bit in the first intermission of the defensemen from the point, taking their time, picking their spot, and getting shots through from the point, not getting shots blocked where Orlando can grab them and go the other way. They're doing a really good job of getting those shots through, especially there Gaudette. He saw he had O'Brien in the high slot. He put the puck in an area where O'Brien could tip it. O'Brien gets his stick on it and ends up in the back of the net. I talked about that a little bit in the first intermission, where the Gladiators were they were doing a good job of getting sticks on pucks, coming through the net, changing the angle of the shot, making it harder on Unger, who's had a really good night. And that's exactly what O'Brien did on that second goal there. He's able to tip that shot from the point from Gaudette, able to get the tip, get the stick on it. Puck ends up in the back of the net off his stick. And the Gladiators take the lead in their mission.
I believe that was Gaudette's first point in the ECHL.
Yes, it was. So congratulations to Gaudette. Getting his first point there.
And you mentioned a lot about the defensemen. I did notice that Dylan Karabia had a bit of a chance, couple chances in that first period. And I wanted to talk about him for a second, seeing that he's had such a good night so far today.
Yeah. Karabia's looking really good tonight. He's moving around really well. I thought him and Nychuk, when those two were out there together, they were like two peas in a pod. They just great chemistry between them. Great chemistry between those two guys on the blue line, able to move the puck around, know where each other are going to be, and just making the right play, the right decision with the puck. And it was the momentum that they created along with the Sylvester, Cipollone, Young line that eventually led to the O'Brien goal. So really good looks from Karabia tonight, along with him playing with Nychuk especially. I thought that pair has been really good for the Gladiators tonight, and I'd love to see it continue in the third.
And speaking of defense, I want to talk a little bit about that penalty kill. I know I talked to Coach last weekend how good the penalty kill has been doing as of late. We had one in this second, and then we had looks like, I believe we had one in the first as well. You want to break down the penalty kill for us?
Yeah, the penalty kill was absolutely huge for the Gladiators. Talked about this a little bit last weekend. I think the Gladiators killers, especially the forwards, they've done a really good job of recognizing when they can be aggressive on the opposing team's defenseman up top on the penalty kill, especially Mickey Burns. We saw him doing a bunch last weekend where he was able to get himself into these one-on-one situations on the penalty kill, and he was able to force turnovers and get the puck out of the zone and get clears for his team. I thought that Kirkland Irie in his first game here for the Gladiators tonight, he was out there on the penalty kill. Similar thing. Really good job keeping the puck to the outside, being aggressive when he knows he can be aggressive, but also recognizing that you can't be running around all over the place on the penalty kill and sitting back in their structure when they know they can. But obviously, when you can be aggressive, forcing turnovers, chipping that puck out of the zone. Very good awareness and recognition by the Gladiators penalty killers.
I actually was going to ask you what you have seen so far from Kirkland Irie so far, and what you think about his type of play.
Yeah, so he's sliding in on that fourth line. Right now, it is just obviously only 11 forwards, so it's just him and Ethan Scardina, and they've had a plethora of different centers out there with them. We saw Joey Cipollone, Alex Young, Carson Denemy, I believe, take a couple of different shifts. With that line, when you have 11 forwards, you do have to obviously play with your lines a little bit there, but it seems like the Gladiators are keeping those top 3 lines together, and then they're just sliding one of those guys down to go out there with Irie and Scardina. But on Irie, really like what I've seen from him. He's just playing a smart checking game. He's making the right decisions with the puck. He's not trying to force anything, because a lot of players, if it's their first game in a new league, they're trying to make themselves known a little bit, and they're forcing plays, and they're creating turnovers for themselves, and they're making it harder on themselves. But I've really liked what I've seen from Kirkland Irie. He's making the smart play. He's making the right play. He's chipping the puck in when he has no other options. He's finding teammates when he's got guys open. He's not holding on to the puck too long, and he's not getting rid of it too fast. So I really like what I've seen from him. Good patience, high hockey IQ, and that's exactly the kind of player that this Gladiators team is looking for as they head into this playoff run. You want these kind of guys who can assert themselves in the lineup, carve out roles for themselves, and be contributors to this team.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what he brings to the Gladiators as we move towards the playoffs this season. Now, before we head into the break, I have a question. Some people mentioned March Madness in the YouTube live chat. So I don't follow basketball, but I have to ask if there is anyone that you're rooting for in March Madness, and we can talk about it after the break.
Yep.
So if you're following March Madness this season, let us know who you're rooting for in the YouTube live chat. Once again, it is the Atlanta Gladiators 2 and the Orlando Solar Bears 1 here at Gas South Arena. We will see you after the break.
It's game day and Bucky's ready for action. From the moment he pulls up, it's all smiles, high fives, and Beaver Toyota pride. A quick stop for snacks and he's game ready. The energy in the arena starts to build because when Beaver Toyota and the Gladiators team up, the fun and excitement never stop. Catch Bucky at the next Gladiators game or visit us anytime at beavertoyotacoming.com.
Welcome back to Gas South Arena. Shelby Rabideau here with Andrew Fleming. We're going to be talking about what we want to see in that third period. But first, before we headed to the break, we talked about March Madness. So if you're watching this season, let us know who you're rooting for. Once again, it is here at Duluth. Gladiators are leading by 2 against the Orlando Solar Bears, who have 1. So, Andrew, what do you want to see when we come back into that third period?
Yeah, really, I just want to see more of what the Gladiators did in that second period. They had a great period in that second period, a lot of really good offensive zone time. Didn't really give up many good opportunities to the Solar Bears. Obviously, Orlando only having 9 shots on goal for this first 2 periods of this game. Gladiators already with 24. So they're really just doing a good job of just peppering Orlando. They're putting shots on net. They're making it hard on Unger. Unger's been really good for the Solar Bears. He's been good for them all season. He's got really good stats coming into this game. And I actually will give you those stats on Connor Unger, the property of the Edmonton Oilers. Coming into this game, only a record of 7-7-4, but a 2.33 goals against average and a .920 save percentage. So not a great record for Unger, but his stats speak for themselves. He's having a really good year. He's keeping the puck out of the net, just not really able to find wins when he can. But the Gladiators doing a good job, making it hard on him, not allowing him to see the puck there. We saw on the O'Brien goal, changing the direction of the shot as it's getting closer to the net. So want to see them do more of that. Get those shots through from the point, crowd the front of the net, and create some opportunities off rebounds or tips on net.
All right, well, let's head over to the YouTube live chat to see what everyone has to say about March Madness. Or first, do you want to answer for yourself? Who
you know
are
what?
You
I'll answer for myself. So obviously my Georgia Bulldogs are they've been eliminated. They were first round exit. They didn't fare too well in the tournament as an 8 seed, but Georgia's more known for their football, you know.
Okay.
You know what? I don't want to go with Duke because that's the chalk pick. They're They're the #1 overall seed in the tournament.
Can I ask you, is Michigan in it?
Michigan's in it. Michigan's a 1 seed. Yeah.
Okay. Go Blue.
So are you going with Michigan?
I am, of course.
Michigan's a very good basketball team. They have a good team this year. They're 1 seed in their region.
Okay, maybe I should brush up on some basketball.
Yeah, well,
knowledge.
Michigan actually beat the team that beat Georgia.
Okay.
Georgia lost to St. Louis in the first round,
Team.
and then St. Louis went up against Michigan, and Michigan throttled them. So, Michigan's a good
Go
choice.
Blue, baby.
You know what? I guess I am gonna go with Houston.
You're not gonna go with Michigan? How rude!
I can't go with Michigan. I can't go with a Big Ten school. I went to an SEC school.
Whatever.
I guess I'll just go with I'll go with Houston. I don't want to pick Duke because Duke's the big chalk pick. I like Purdue. Maybe Purdue. Purdue's had some tough troubles in the tournament these last couple of years, so maybe Purdue. But it's a really fun tournament to just watch. It's a big thing going on in March when there's not a lot of sports going on in March. Obviously you have NHL, NBA playoff races, which NHL playoff race. I love watching hockey, so I'm glued to the TV. But football's over. Golf is kind of getting good. You're getting towards the Masters, but March Madness just kind of the tournament just kind of carves out its own time for itself, and it's really different because that first Thursday, Friday of the tournament, you got games starting like in the early afternoon. So, I remember like being in like college and high school classes, and no one's paying attention to what's going on up front. Everyone's just on their computers watching the basketball game. So, and then, what that's what it's really about. It's about making those what is it? The brackets.
Yeah,
looking for those words.
Do you have a bracket?
I do. I think I filled out one, and I think I had Duke winning it. So maybe I should go for Duke, but I don't want to root for Duke or Michigan. That's no fun. Let's see. We got Red Wings fan 713 rooting for my alma mater, University of Houston. Houston's got a very good basketball team. They could make a run. Right? I did pick Houston, so maybe go Houston. We'll see. But yeah, it's just a really fun tournament to watch. Kind of like those Cinderella stories of like these lower seeds making runs late. Didn't really have many of those this season, but it's just really fun to see like these young college kids kind of carve out names for themselves in this tournament. Guys that like most likely won't make it professionally, but they kind of become like a household name for what they do in March. That's what it's all about. It's these young kids going out and making a name for themselves in the most important time of the year for their sport. So it's a lot of fun to watch. You get a lot of teams and you get a lot of different schools in the tournament, which is really fun to see too. You see some schools that you never heard of before. Okay. And it's just really it's a fun watch. It's just a lot going on at once. So if you're a big sports fan, it's just kind of fun to just sit down and watch all these basketball games,
You got to get one of those screens. Like, have you ever been to a sports bar and they have, like, every single game, like, on one huge screen? That's what you need to do.
That's exactly what you need for this time of year.
You got to get the setup going on in the man cave, I guess. All right, well, it looks like the Gladiators are going to be heading back onto the ice shortly for that third period. Once again, the Atlanta Gladiators lead 2-1 against Orlando Solar Bears. We will see you when we come back for that third period.
We're 20, and yeah, we're celebrating big. Because in 20 years, we didn't just make the gear. We made hockey cooler. They said we were too loud, too flashy, too different. They told us to tone it down. The Warriors don't tone it down. We go full throttle. And this is just the start. 20 years in and we're just getting warmed up. We're still the brand that makes the gear you can win in, chirping, and partying. And if you thought we were bold before, just wait. The next 20 years start now.
Life's too short for ordinary whiskey. Make it infamous.
Now available at Mega Package Store, 2820 Lawrenceville, Sewanee, Oregon, 4 miles from Gas South Arena.
The Gladiators have a 2-1 lead over the Solar Bears at the top of the third period. Looking to close this one out on home ice and pick up their 40th win of the season. Guy Chiarenza alongside Andrew Fleming and Shelby Rabideau as well. This has been a fun night of hockey. tight game on the scoreboard, but it really feels like the Gladiators have played a great game so far.
Yeah, especially in that second period, you know. Talked about a little bit in the intermission. You've coined that term, the second period surge. Wasn't much of a surge on the scoreboard, but it really was on the ice. The Gladiators really just controlled that second period. Were able to put one in the back of the net. Should have probably had a couple of more. Would love to see them extend that lead in the third.
And they will attempt to do just that. The Gladiators wearing their white jerseys with blue numbers and Gladiator gold trim will skate from right to left in the third period. Solar Bears wearing their black jerseys with white numbers and purple trim will skate from left to right. The go-ahead goal belongs to Jack O'Brien, assisted by Cam Gaudette and Nolan Orzek with 7:28 left in the second period. The Gladiators this season in one-goal games have a record of 18-6-2-1. The Solar Bears have not fared as well this season, as this is a team that has struggled to come back and win games. Orlando, when trailing after 2, is 0-27-2. But as we say, anything goes, especially in the ECHL. Gladiators win the opening faceoff of period 3. We'll see if they can close this one out against their South Division rivals. Burns skates it over the red line. Bardero lost a mitt on the way in. Actually, that was Burns who lost his left-hand glove, so he has to go off. And coming on for him is Cody Sylvester. Meanwhile, Denemy grabs it over the red line, finds Sylvester on the left wing. Dropped off for Francis, who shoots high and wide. On the far wall, it's Bruder, quickly spinning Wilson into action. Over the attacking line, holds and shoots off the stick of Gaudette and out of play, as he has had a great night here so far.
Yeah, probably a smart change there for Mickey Burns. Loses his glove there, and then he says, you know what, I don't want to lose any fingers here. I'm going to get off the ice. Smart by Burns.
And Francis going to scoop up that glove, return it to Burns on the bench. Face-off, resume play will be to the left of Hyder in the near circle. And Hyder has not been too busy tonight. Stopped 8 of 9. The one goal for Orlando scored back late in the first from Cole Conzi off a rush. Otherwise, not a whole lot of work for Hyder, and he's been great when called upon. Sylvester barrels down the left wing for a shot. Save made by Unger. Puck loose in the near corner. Grabbed by Bird and tossed to the line. Held in and driven to the end wall by the Gladiators. Now it is Bruder from the far wall, lifting it to center where it's gloved down by Sylvester. He'll gain the attacking line, feed it to the slot off the stick of Young and into the near corner. Tries to slam it up top, but getting in front of that is Bird. 2-on-2 up ice for Orlando as Bird takes the return feed from Kodzi at the trapezoid. Gladiators cluster up on him, and Nychuk is going to scurry away with the puck. Quick 2 passes, sends Cipollone over the red line. He'll drop it in deep and get off to complete a change as the first line comes on for Atlanta. McNamee on the forecheck, almost created a turnover behind the net. Solar Bears do squirm out to center. Bruder tries to squeeze his way over the attacking line, makes his way to the net on the return feed off the pass from the wall. Did not get a shot on goal, though, as the Gladiators sweep it up in front of Hyder, rip it to the neutral zone. Off a stick into the far corner. Allen's going to beat out Denemy to it. Former Regina Pat does get a stick on it and is actually slammed down behind the play by by Allen. Puck drifts out to the neutral zone. Gladiators dump it back in. As the Solar Bears scuttle their way through center. Puck into the near corner. Conroy off the wall has Irie. He will relay it back to Conroy on the far wall. He'll knock it off the glass and out to center, where Scardina hauls it in. Tried to gain the attacking line, but his plans were foiled by Cooper. He'll lift it into the near corner. Conroy back on it. Rotates it to the far wall for Cipollone and back the other way for Irie. With some steam, Irie tries to drive towards the net, get around Schmaggy from the end wall, finds Scardina in the near corner. Up the ice to the high slot, he shoots, save made by Unger. 17-12 on the clock in the third.
Yeah, a really nice job by Irie there. Playing that one-on-one, getting that puck into the corner and then chipping it over to his line mate Scardina, who's able to work the puck up high, get a good shot on goal. Really nice work by that fourth line.
The Solar Bears this season not known for their goal scoring. Only 2.5 goals for Orlando this season. Not much better defensively either. 3.18 goals against. Ninth lowest figure in the ECHL. Orzek from the right point takes a shot. That gets blocked and goes out of play. For the Solar Bears team, they have allowed goals in 9 straight periods now. And you gotta wonder if there's some frustration settling in for the Solar Bears squad led by Matt McDonald. They just can't find a way to score, and they haven't really generated much offensively in this game either. Just 9 shots on goal. Meanwhile, the Gladiators have put up 25 on Unger. Face off to his left. The Solar Bears win a defensive zone face-off. They'll mail it out to center, grabbed by Orzek. Came over in that trade with O'Brien from the Heartlanders back in late December. Tried to clear to the zone, held in. Bardero shoots off a stick and wide. Into the far corner, Lucas Savages slaps it to the line. Gill right point, threads it inside, drop past to Britt. He'll scan, hold on, return to Bardero. At the right point, leaves it for Gill for a blast, and that goes wide of Hyder. Denemy forces a turnover. Gladiators move up ice 4-on-1. Francis with Burns, centers, Nychuk, back to Francis. And he wouldn't find a way to put it into the back of the net. Got some wood on it, just didn't go in the right direction. Now Britt skated out to center circle, firing it around the horn to the left wing for Kodzi. Sylvester is able to take it away. Bruder picks his pocket. The Solar Bears stay in the Gladiator zone as Bruder leaves it for Allen. Downhill wants Bird, taken down by Carabia. Solar Bears hang on and drift it to the right wing for Schmaggy. He will go around the net on his forehand. From the far circle, takes a shot through the slot. Bird at the right point takes a bid, wide of Hyder. Momentum carries it to the left wing to Allen. Behind the net, trying to connect with Bruder. Glances off the stick, catches up to it on the near half wall. He'll sputter it deeper to Bird behind the net. On his forehand, pestered by Gaudette, tries to slither away. Tyler Bird leaves it for Kodzi. Up to the left point, Allen across, Schmaggy inside. Eddie fans on his shot. Sylvester takes it away. 2-on-1 up ice. Sylvester holds and shoots high and wide. That's 2 odd man rushes for the Gladiators here in the opening 5 minutes of the third. Meanwhile, Luchuk tries to streak towards the net, and there to make the defensive stand is O'Brien, Gaudette, and Orr. Young slings it up ice to McNamee. Charges down the left wing walls. The Gladiators get a partial change in behind the scenes. Will glance off a stick and out to center. Trevich off a stick, loses it to Orr. Solar Bears get possession back off a failed dump in from the Gladiators. Now the puck will hit a stick and go into Atlanta's bench with 14:38 left on the clock.
Yeah, you said it, Guy. 2 odd man rushes for the Gladiators early in this third period, and no shots on net generated from it. The first one, Francis tries to drop it off to Nychuk. Nychuk tries to go back to it, and Francis just kind of overskated the puck, not really expecting that pass to come back to him from Nychuk. And then the second one, full ice, Sylvester and Gaudette. Sylvester tried to pick his spot and just missed the net. Gladiators got to try and execute better on those odd man rushes.
And it's interesting, Andrew, that we've talked about how in this game the Gladiators really should have a much wider lead than they do right now. And part of those plays, those miscues, if you will, one of the reasons why it is just a 1-goal game. At the right point, it is Cooper. Inside for a shot. Save made by Hyder on Jared. Lucas Savages is frozen here. And the Gladiators themselves, even, Andrew, really aren't much of a scoring team themselves either. They only average 2.9 goals for per game. That's 19th in the ECHL, and yet they've locked up a playoff spot. And while he hasn't been busy here today, Ethan Hyder and the Gladiators' team defense is a large reason as to why.
Yeah, that's kind of been the identity of the team the whole season, is the way they play in their own zone, their goaltending, their defense. They keep the puck out of their net more than they put it in other teams' net. That's kind of been their identity, is defense first.
Face off on the near circle. O'Brien will take this against Bardero. It's interesting, in these games between South Division foes, usually you see a lot of physicality, but here tonight, not a whole lot to talk about on that front either. Lucas Savages barrels down the right wing, has the puck taken away by McNamee. Conroy helping out in the area, floats it to Les behind the net. Up the ice to O'Brien, and the Gladiators start their rush. O'Brien has his pocket picked right as he crossed over his own blue line. Lucas Savages carries it to the far corner. Wrapped up by Les. Puck goes behind the net. Conroy can't reel it in. Wilson spinning in the near corner, swipes it to Bardero. Over to the left point. Britt to the right point for Gill. Long shot. Hyder fights it off, and the rebound smacked wide on the backhand by Lucas Savages. Now snagging it in front of his own net was Conroy, and the whistle blows. Gonna get a penalty here. Looks like it's a cross check. 13:32 left in the third period. It appears this penalty is going against the Gladiators. We come back. Atlanta's on the Beaver Toyota Mazda penalty kill. They do lead 2-1.
We're 20, and yeah, we're celebrating big. Because in 20 years, we didn't just make the gear, we made hockey cooler. They said we were too loud, too flashy, too different. They told us to tone it down. The Warriors don't tone it down, we go full throttle. And this is just the start. 20 years in and we're just getting warmed up. We're still the brand that makes the gear you can win in, chirping and partying. And if you thought we were bold before, just wait. The next 20 years start now.
Life's too short for ordinary whiskey. Make it infamous.
Now available at Mega Package Store, 2820 Lawrenceville, Sewanee, Oregon. 4 miles from Gas South Arena.
2-1 game. Gladiators in front with 13:32 left in regulation. Solar Bears with a chance to tie it on the power play. Ryan Conroy in the box for Atlanta for the next 2 minutes. Cross-checking the call. Gladiators are 2 for 2 on the Beaver Toyota Mazda penalty kill so far tonight. We'll start this one off on the right foot. Maneuvering it all the way down to Unger, forcing the Solar Bears to start from the back end. Now gain the attacking line. Bird from the right point slips it down low to Bardero. Behind the net, Gladiators strip him free. And once again, nail it down to Unger for a clear. Swooping out from behind his own net is Wilson. One of these newcomers and youngsters for Orlando. Give and go down the right wing into the near corner. Wilson ladles it back up top for Bardero. Return to Wilson in the near corner. Center for a shot. Kicked away by Hyder. Tyler Bird, the grade A scoring area. Robbed by Hyder. Now Bardero down to the goal line beneath the near circle by Wilson. It's it up to the right point. Pass across. Doesn't make its way to Bird. In the far corner on his forehand. Scans the interior. Didn't see anything there. They'll ladle it to the line. Now at the right wing, it's Bardero. Tossing it in front of the net for Wilson. Trying to go to Bardero. Will go around the net to the left wing for Bird. Pass across is intercepted. Great play by O'Brien. And the Gladiators will clear. 33 seconds left on the penalty to Conroy. 8 minutes gone by in the third. Solar Bears wire it back in from the near corner. Put it to the right point. Gill across. Back to Gill. Takes a long shot. Hyder turns it away. Gladiators toss it to Scardina. And he's got some room to roam. Ethan Scardina, short-handed, tries to take a shot. That gets blocked by Gill. Denemy trailing, carries it into the near corner to shave off some more time. Conroy out of the box, and the Gladiators have gone 3 for 3 on the PK. Conroy behind his own net, fresh out of the box. Has his skating legs here. Jolting it up the ice. Not finding the intended target, though. Icing on the Gladiators with 11:16 on the clock.
Yeah, really good job on the kill by the Gladiators there. O'Brien having a good stick in the lane, breaking a pass up by the Solar Bears, able to get a clear. And Ethan Scardina with a really good opportunity on the kill. Uses speed, drives wide, tries to put a puck on net. That one gets deflected wide. And then Carson Denemy eating a lot of time off the clock in the corner to try and kill that kill.
Near circle face-off to the left of Hyder. Gladiators win it, volleyed off the glass, and out to center Conroy gets another piece of it to nip it into the near corner. He'll head off for a change as the Solar Bears look to break out. Schmaggy from the right wing finds an avenue to the left wing. Eddie speeds into it, slammed into the wall by Carabia. So the Bears keep the puck, rotate to the right point. Schmaggy holds and shoots high and wide of Hyder. Rebound goes to Young, developing 2-on-1 for Atlanta. Young, right wing, sauces it for Sylvester, but sprawling out to block it was Cooper. The rookie defenseman makes a stand for Orlando. Now they have a rush. With numbers, pass across is broken up. Gladiators return the favor. Sylvester intercepts a pass from low to high, carries it to the neutral zone, over the red line, puts it on goal, forces Unger to make a save. Sip alone, drags it behind the net, finds man open on the right wing. Sylvester cross ice to Gaudette, back to the slot, turned away by Unger in front. Now it is Nychuk, down behind the net to Young. On his forehand, gets pinned up along the boards. Shaken down, Orlando has it. Egan McMullen tries to clear. Gladiators keep it in. Young, a shot from the high slot, that gets blocked. Now behind the net, it is Nychuk. In the far corner, on his forehand. Looks to center for Walter. Puck drifts to the left circle for a shot. Gaudette rings it off the post. Now it is Walter dancing to the right point, finding Nychuk. Back to Walter. Climbs to the right circle. Creeps behind the net. Hangs onto the puck. Finds McNamee, who leaves it back for Walter. Led onto the line for Gaudette. Now at the right point, it is Nychuk. Left circle, Walter. Shanks on the one-timer. Takes the puck off the return feed from Young. Make that to the line. Actually, O'Brien that made that play as Gaudette at the right point steers it down low. Centered for Walter, who shoots. Save made by Unger with 9:06 left in the third. And now there's a little bit of physicality for you. A little bit of rough and tumble action afterwards. Gladiators and Solar Bears renewing their rivalry. Atlanta up 2-1 with 9:06 to go in regulation.
More than just cookies.
Desserts now in rotation.
Why choose between getting things done and doing things with the ones you love? With Kroger's same-day pickup and delivery, it's easy to shop the same great prices and quality you'd find in-store, so you can catch more family time. We'll bring your groceries right to you, satisfaction guaranteed, so you can spend time on what matters most. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Tight game at Gas South Arena. Gladiators have the lead 2-1 over the Solar Bears, and they lead the shot count 29-13. Connor Unger, the Solar Bears goaltender, has kept them in this game. Gladiators' penalty kill has been terrific. They've gone 3 for 3 so far tonight. Coming into the game, it was the 14th best penalty kill in the ECHL at 81.9%. And I have to imagine with the numbers so far today, I could jump up to 82.5%, somewhere around that area. Puck drifts deep into the Gladiator zone. Along the end wall, Denemy tries to pick it free. Chips it to Francis, who skates to the neutral zone. Pass to the left wing on the money for Burns. Rips it around the horn, back to Francis on the right wing wall. At the right point, finds Conroy. Tries to squeeze his way down the wall, but Britt is able to take it away. Now knocking it into Gladiator ice is Coburn. He and Les collide. Gladiators have a hand on the puck as Conroy able to shake away the pressure. 8:17 left on the clock. Again, the Gladiators this season, the one-goal games are 18-6, 2-1. Won another one of those on Sunday. Turnover shot into the back of the net, but not going to happen. No goal. Conroy got tripped up, and the Gladiators are going to the power play.
Yeah, lucky break for the Gladiators there. Conroy tripped up behind the net. Puck comes out right into the slot, and it's fired right into the back of the net. Gladiators weren't too happy about that puck being shot after the whistle, and now they're going to go to a power play midway through the third period.
It will be their third power play of the game. Jared Lucas Savages tripped up Conroy, and that play only happens because of the trip. Conroy had the puck, tried to swoop out from the left wing, got tripped up, turned the puck over, and that's when it was fired into the net. And so the Gladiators are off to the Eco-Electric power play. 8:07 left in the third. Looking to extend their lead to the largest lead of the night. Face-off on the far circle. First power play unit will start this sequence. Young to take the draw with Walter, O'Brien, Sylvester, and Nychuk. Looks like Young will take this face-off against Tyler Drevich. Drevich played with the Gladiators last season at 5 points in 25 games. He does win the face-off. Gladiators trying to take it away. Solar Bears will scoot to the near wall and plug it to the line. Held in by Sylvester. Cross-ice feed, does not find O'Brien. Drifts below the goal line, leaps into the air, between the rings, swatted at, and grabbed by O'Brien. Takes it to the left wing wall, slides it to Sylvester at the point. Across to Nychuk, now at the right circle, it's O'Brien. From the half wall, puts it to the line, and it hops off the stick of Nychuk and out to neutral ice. Gladiators are forced to exit and re-enter. Nychuk carries down the left wing wall, cuts to the inside, feathers it right wing. O'Brien shoots off a stick and over the head of Unger. Behind the net, Walter returns it to O'Brien. Up the right wing wall, Nychuk tries to keep it alive, but Bird will slam it into Gladiator ice for a clear. Atlanta now down to just 1:02 left on the power play. And parts of the second power play unit have made their way on as the Solar Bears get another clear. 7 minutes to play in regulation. 50 seconds left on the power play. Gladiators trying to give themselves the biggest lead of the night. Give themselves a little bit of breathing room. Cipolone catapults it off the near side corner to the far. Reverses back to the near wing for McNamee. Up top, Conroy back to McNamee. Holds, feathers it across for less. Down to the trapezoid for Burns. Gets a piece of it to Joey Cipolone. Picked up his 50th pro assist. With his assist on Young's opening score. Left for Burns. Up to the right point for Les. Now Conroy from the high slot. Feeds it left wing for McNamee. The return feed for a bomb gets blocked. Bruder will not clear. Conroy keeps it in. Left for McNamee. 5 seconds left on the power play. Les from the right wing finds McNamee again. Left circle Conroy. He'll hold and shoot. That gets blocked. Lucas Savage is out of the box. Back to even strength. Gladiators still on the attack for a long shot that's fought off by the blocker of Unger. Net behind him comes off, and we get a whistle with 5:57 to play. And some more fisticuffs afterwards. These two teams renewing their rivalry, just reminding each other how much they really don't like each other. We'll see more of this on the other side of the break. Gladiators lead 2-1.
It's game day and Bucky's ready for action. From the moment he pulls up, it's all smiles, high fives, and Beaver Toyota pride. A quick stop for snacks and he's game ready. The energy in the arena starts to build because when Beaver Toyota and the Gladiators team up, the fun and excitement never stop. Catch Bucky at the next Gladiators game or visit us anytime at beavertoyotacoming.com.
Kind of feels like everyone's trying to copy the $5 biggie bag. So how can you spot a knockoff? It won't taste like Wendy's. This job is easy. When the deal is as fresh as the meal, gotta be Wendy's.
Gotta be fresh.
Gladiators lead 2-1 with 5:57 left in the third period. Face-off in the Orlando zone. Gladiators win it. Delayed penalty on Orlando. Hyder to the bench, but the Solar Bears do touch up, and the Gladiators will go to their fourth power play of the night. with 5:46 left in the third period. And now we will go back to another media timeout. Set the stage nicely for the final sequence of regulation as the Gladiators look to put the nail in the coffin on the Solar Bears.
We're 20, and yeah, we're celebrating big. Because in 20 years, we didn't just make the gear, we made hockey cooler. They said we were too loud, too flashy, too different. They told us to tone it down. The Warriors don't tone it down, we go full throttle. And this is just the start. 20 years in and we're just getting warmed up. We're still the brand that makes the gear you can win in, chirping and partying. And if you thought we were bold before, just wait. The next 20 years start now.
Life's too short for ordinary whiskey. Make it infamous.
Now available at Mega Package Store, 2820 Lawrenceville, Sewanee, Oregon. 4 miles from Gas South Arena.
5:46 to play in regulation. Gladiators lead 2-1. Tyler Drevich in the box for Orlando, setting up the Gladiators on their 4th eco-electric power play of the night and a chance to put this game on ice. And on the face-off to start the power play, puck is taken up ice by Orlando's Jared Lukasavages. Gladiators squeezed off his stick as he crossed over the attacking line. Here is Walter, barreling down the middle. Puck sneaks its way in on Unger. Keeps it alive to the far corner where the Solar Bears will clear. Puck jumbles down to Hyder. Pass for Nychuk was almost intercepted by Lukasavages. Glanced off his stick, and the Gladiators do keep possession. Nychuk up to Sylvester. The attacking line hits a stick to the right wing and sputters back out to center. The Gladiators will try the entry again. Nychuk from the right wing. Slots it ahead in hopes of finding Young, but breaking that up is Kodzi, and he gives Young a bit of a shove after that play. Now Nychuk finds O'Brien up the ice. Hard around the horn to the right wing for Young. Didn't make it his way as it's cut off by Kodzi. Does get it back behind the net, tries to put it to the line, but the far point was vacant, and the puck drifts out to center. 55 seconds left on the power play. Sylvester re-enters. Nychuk at the line, feeds it right wing. Young across to Walter. He scores! Isaac Walters, Johnny on the spot. Bullseye for Atlanta on the power play, and they lead 3-1.
What a pass by Alex Young across zone. Right into the wheelhouse of Isaac Walter, and he absolutely rips a one-timer into the back of the net to put the Gladiators up by 2 late in the third.
Goals in back-to-back games on the power play for the Gladiators. Brilliant feed from Young to Walter on a power play that didn't have much going until the goal. Found a way to make it count. Walter with the net wide open as goals in back-to-back games. He is picked up goal number 22 in his rookie campaign.
Yeah, just a lapse in coverage by Orlando there. Not covering that passing lane across the zone from Young to Walter, and Walter makes absolutely no mistake on the one-timer.
So 4:33 left on the clock in the third. Orlando trying to get that one back. They power towards the net, fire a shot wide. Now at the right point, it is Schmaggy. Lukasavages behind the net. Tries to chip it into the near corner. Denemy takes it to the wall. Off a stick, Les peels it away as Francis knifing his way up the ice. The attacking line plugs it into the near corner. Over in the far, the Solar Bears get it back. So it's Walter from Young and Sylvester, making it a 3-1 Gladiator lead. Biggest lead of the night for Atlanta. Icing on Orlando with 3:40 to play. We see an offensive zone face-off for the Gladiators here.
Yeah, we talked about it a little bit before, Guy, how the Gladiators have had power play opportunities late in games to either take a lead or put a game away. and they hadn't been really able to do it earlier in this season. And they just did it tonight, which is a great sign for this Gladiators power play. They get an opportunity late to extend their lead, try and put this game away against Orlando, and they do exactly that. Great job by this Gladiators power play, who's on a real heater going into the final stretch of this season.
Solar Bears win a defensive zone face-off. Taking up ice to Bird over the attacking line, drifts to the left wing and shoots. Gobbled up by Hyder with 3:27 to play.
Supreme Sign Services is Georgia's preferred sign installation company. From commercial projects to major venue installs, including the dashboards for the Atlanta Gladiators. Supreme delivers results that stand out. Supreme Sign Services.
Face-off to the right of Ethan Hyder. Cipollone will take this face-off for the Gladiators against Anthony Bardero. Hyder turns away a shot off the draw. Puck available in the far corner. Gladiators emerge. Young hoists it over the neutral zone. That'll be an icing with 3:14 on the clock, and this face-off is coming back into the Gladiator zone. Cody Sylvester with the secondary assist on the power play goal scored by Isaac Walter has now moved into 4th place in Gladiators team history in assists. Now has 2 assists today for 195 in his ECHL career. Britt walks the line, takes a shot off a stick and out of play in the back of the end zone with 3:07 on the clock. And afterwards, a skirmish or going at it with Bird. Takes him down in the blue paint. And it's an all-out dog pile right near Ethan Hyder, who's keeping his cool. Waiting for all the action to resume. And for Hyder, again, not a busy day for him. Stopped 13 of 14, but if the Gladiators are able to hang on and get the win today, he would pass his head coach, Matt Ginn, who was once a netminder for the Gladiators. The 3rd most wins by a Gladiators netminder all time. Would be his 39th. Just to talk about the season that he's had, he became the 7th Gladiators goaltender to record 20 wins in a single season. Sean Fields did it twice, 506 and 405. Looks like Orr and Bird are both going to be given penalties here. We'll see if anything else is added on as well. And it looks like the Solar Bears, regardless of the outcome here, have pulled Connor Unger with 3:07 on the clock as they try and get this game all tied up at 3 by any means necessary. And they would need to do it. Looks like these penalties are going to offset. We're going to stay 5-on-5. I believe the face-off will be to the right of Hyder when we do end up resuming play. And looks like there's a bit of confusion down on ice level. And
yeah, it looks like right now they're
4
giving,
on 4.
Yeah.
But there's 5 Solar Bears out there.
Well, they got the goalie pulled too.
Good eye. Looks like now we have a timeout called by the Solar Bears. So
a lot going on.
there's a lot to count. So to recap, minor penalties both to Bird and Orr, likely for roughing. They put us at 4-on-4. Then, Andrew, as you mentioned, the net empty for Orlando. So you add the extra attacker, which brings the Solar Bears count to 5 and the Gladiators to 4.
Yep, Solar Bears here. 3 minutes left. Might as well pull the goalie at this point. You're down 2. Yep. You need 2 goals to tie this up. You got to face off in the attacking zone. Might as well pull the goalie. See if he can get something going here in these last couple of minutes.
So the face-off will be to the right of Hyder. 5-on-4 for the Solar Bears. Net is empty for Orlando. Joey Cipollone will take the draw against Anthony Bardero, who's taken a lot of face-offs for Orlando here tonight. He has been their workhorse at the dot. And in the critical draw, he does win it for his team. So, surfing the line is Britt, ladles it to the left wing, pass to the slot, hits a stick, and leaps over the tape of Luchuk. Finds Bardero, right wing, giving go, Bardero, toe drag, shot, save, Hyder deep in the crease. Gladiators try and clear. Less to Cipollone, net is empty, weaves his way to center, puts it that way, and misses on the far side. Icing on the Gladiators with 2:42 on the clock, and 1:35 on the 4-on-4, but again, 5-on-4 with the net empty for Orlando.
Yeah, Joey Cipollone there. Nice breakout pass by the Gladiators to Sprink Cipollone. Gave himself a pretty decent look at the empty net there, but from behind the red line, just puts it wide of the goal, icing, face off to the left of Hyder.
Near circle draw, Cipollone against Bardero. Puck slapped to the wall, Bardero has it. To jolt it behind the net, goes away from Luchuk. Gladiators push it up the ice. Cipollone tried to find Burns, but puck is scrubbed away from him, and now we get a whistle with 2:31 to go. And they're going to put this right at center circle, so Unger will come back. It'll be 4-on-4. O'Brien will duel against Bardero. Gladiators on the ice, O'Brien, Irie, Carabia, and Gaudet. Face-off 1. Gaudet rolls back into his own end as Irie up the ice, taken away by Bardero, pushed a bit deeper where Gaudet gets it back. Gladiators slap it through center, and this will be an icing with 2:14 to play, and Unger going back to the bench. Extra attacker back on, and we are back to 5-on-4 in favor of Orlando.
Yeah, necessary icing there by the Gladiators. Had possession in their own zone, and then they just quickly get rid of it. Send it all the way down for an icing, allowing Orlando to pull the goaltender with a face-off in the Gladiators' end.
Near circle draw to the left of Hyder. 4 on the ice for the Gladiators. It is Gaudet, O'Brien, Carabia, and Irie. O'Brien will take this face-off against Bardero. Bardero has won another. Britt at the right point, surfs the line, feeds it to his right for Bardero. Down low, Luchuk, back to Bardero. Fans on a shot. Puck goes back out to center. Down to 2 minutes to go. Wilson up the ice. Feeds it right wing for Lucas Savages. Return feed away from Wilson. Gladiators have it. Carabia up the ice. Looks for the empty net. Not going to get there now. O'Brien tries to beat out the icing against Britt, but just a half step behind. Does not get there and took a check afterwards. Didn't like that. Gave Britt a little bit of a slap with his stick, and O'Brien thought there should have been a penalty there, and can't say I blame him.
Should have.
Can't say I blame him.
It was well after the whistle. Britt just finishes checking on O'Brien. O'Brien gave him a nice little love tap on the back of the shin.
So 1:48 to play. 41 seconds left on the penalties to Bird and Orr. Again, still 5-on-4 for Orlando with the net empty. And the same previous 4 on the ice for the Gladiators. Forced to stay out there off the icing. O'Brien against Bardero once again. And the Solar Bears have it at the right point. Britt has a glance off the stick and out of play. Face off on the near circle. Bardero against Denemy. Left wing to the point. Gill across to Bardero. Luchuk up high for a shot. Kick save. Hyder. Puck behind the net. Gill takes a long shot. Hyder fights that away. Puck into the far corner. Denemy lifts it to the line. Held in by Gill. Across to Bardero. Long shift for him here. Scans the ice, loses the puck, flub towards the net. Luchuk is there. Gladiators sweep it away or out of the box, as is Bird, though both join the play. Now it's 6-on-5 for Orlando. Gill takes a shot wide of Hyder. Puck leaps over the stick of Denemy or swipes it into his own bench with 51.7 to play.
Yeah, not a bad result there for Orr, trying to chip that puck out of his zone with the Gladiators pinned in their own end. He just gets a little bit under that one, chips it into the bench, but allows his team to get a change with 51.7 seconds left here.
I believe there's been a stat correction on the last goal from the Gladiators. It is Walter from Young and Nychuk. They gave the Gladiators a 3-1 lead, so Sylvester still tied for fourth all-time in Gladiators franchise history in assists, but Nychuk does set a new single-season record for most assists by a Gladiators defenseman in a season, now with 42. Puck out at center. Bird has it for Orlando. Down to 37 seconds. Plops it into the far corner and chases after it. Gaudette tries to tie him up a little bit. Puck leaks free to Carabia, puts it to the empty net, and it skitters wide. Icing with 24.7 to go. Take a peek at the shot count. 32-18 in favor of the Gladiators. It really has been a good night for them. Hasn't really necessarily shown up in terms of the goal-scoring department with just 3, but they have found a way at times to take command of this game and, most importantly, keep the Solar Bears out the Gladiators' end and especially out of the back of the net. Face-off on the near circle. Drevich to take this against O'Brien. Still 6-on-5 and a bit of encroachment on this face-off here. They're going to force everybody back. So both Drevich and O'Brien giving a bit of a warning, and it looks like still hanging on to that puck. Sticky fingers here from the linesman. Let's drop the thing. Let's go. Oh, brother. Another false start in the draw. Looks like O'Brien's probably going to get the boot here, and Cipollone will come in and take this face off. Well, no, maybe not. They're going to keep both of them, so perhaps the third time is the charm. O'Brien against Drevich. And Drevich wins it cleanly, splits his zone deep, tumbles back into his own zone. Solar Bears catch up to it. 15 seconds to play. Pass up the ice for Lombardi. Over the attacking line. Drop pass for a shot. Blocked by O'Brien. Off the wall to Cipollone. Net is empty. Has Burns at center. Tries to shoot. Gets stuffed. Second attempt. Blocked by Britz. But time runs out on the third, and the Atlanta Gladiators have picked up their 40th win of the season, and Ethan Hyder moves into third place on the Gladiators' all-time wins list with career win number 39 in a Gladiators jersey.
Just a great all-around team win from the Gladiators. Peppered the Orlando Solar Bears offensively. A lot of really good opportunities. End up with 32 shots on goal, and Hyder saving 17 of 18, made the stops when he needed to. Just a really good all-around team win for the Gladiators here tonight, taking care of business at home.
The Atlanta Gladiators have made it 3 wins in a row. They have now climbed up to 40-19-2-1. 83 points has them tied for second place in the South Division. And the Solar Bears remain in the division's basement. They fall to 24-34, 4-1 on the season. Gladiators do have a game in hand on the South Carolina Stingrays. Both those two teams knotted up for second in the division, and feels like that potential playoff series between those two is going to be absolute cinema. Gladiators are proving they can go toe-to-toe with anybody, especially the Orlando Solar Bears. They are now 4-1 on the season against Orlando. And it's coming up next here from Gas South Arena on the post-game coverage on Flow Hockey and YouTube are the 3 stars of the game. For those of you watching on Peachtree Sports Network, thank you for watching this presentation of the ECHL. I'm Guy Chiarenza alongside Andrew Fleming and Shelby Rabideau, saying good night and so long, and thank you for watching this one as the Gladiators defeat the Solar Bears by the final score of 3-1. Here's a little bonus coverage for you here on Flow Hockey and YouTube. Here are the 3 stars of the game for the Gladiators tonight in their big 3-1 win over the Solar Bears. 3 wins in a row, and it felt like at a point in time, Gladiators up and down. 1 point were 4 and 6 of their last 10 games. A lot of people thought the sky might be falling. The Gladiators say cooler heads prevail, and they now made it 3 wins in a row, Andrew. And this Gladiators team is once again looking dangerous at the right time of the year.
Yeah, they've gotten back to being that team that we knew for the early parts of this season. A little bit of skid recently, but they've really picked it back up. They got right back to their game, and they're just rolling right now as we get to the end of the regular season.
And the race for home ice in the first round is not over yet. Florida has a pretty lengthy lead for first in the division, but second place still up for grabs. Here are the 3 stars of the game here tonight. With his first ECHL point on an assist off the O'Brien goal, which was the Atlanta's second of the game. The 3rd star of the night is Cam Gaudet. First-year pro out of Stonehill College. Took the initial shot that was deflected in by O'Brien. And what was the eventual game-winning goal? Second star of the night is number 13, Alex Young. Another multi-point affair for him. A goal and looks like 2 assists here today. Young, no, a goal and an assist, I beg your pardon, for Alex Young. And your first star of the night with the game-winning goal is number 19, Jack O'Brien. O'Brien tipped in the game winner off the shot from Gaudet. About midway through the second period. He is star number 1, and he is downstairs with Miss Emma Harp. Here he is now.
All right, Jack, congratulations, first star of the night. Now, I was going to ask you how it felt going into a win this weekend, but I just heard 40 wins this season. How does that make you feel?
It's incredible. It's a great accomplishment for this organization, and yeah, it feels good.
Incredible. Now, with the goal, the momentum, and the Hockey Heritage Weekend, how are we feeling? What's the mindset?
I think we're all really excited. There's going to be some energy in the building this weekend, and just hope we keep us rolling.
Amazing. Now, it's the first time we're back at home, and we haven't talked about clinching playoffs. How does it feel to have officially clinched playoffs?
It's really exciting. It's the first step for us, and our goal is to get a Kelly Cup, and we've got step 1 done.
Amazing. Thank you so much, and congratulations. Everybody, give a round of applause.
Great job. Thank you, Emma. And one more time, that was
Jack O'Brien, the first star of the game with the game-winning goal. And Andrew, the Gladiators win this one 3-1. All of a sudden, it's 3 in a row. And they're doing it at the right time of the year. And special teams, once again, a factor for the Gladiators. Perfect on the penalty kill, and they get a power play goal as well. There was a lot to love in this victory for Atlanta.
Yeah, you'd love to see the special teams get hot at this time of year, kind of refine, kind of find their place in this team going into the playoffs. You just want to be really sharp on special teams going into the playoffs, and they were tonight. They were on Sunday in Savannah, the power play, especially on Sunday, but they get a power play goal here late to extend their lead, which we feel like we've been talking about so much this season, where they've had chances on the power play late to either take a lead or extend a lead, and they do exactly that night. They do exactly that here tonight, which is just a great sign for this team going forward into the Kelly Cup playoffs.
And look at the score, final score, 3-1. was a one-goal game for much of the contest, but the shot count, 32-18 in favor of the Gladiators. This was a game where it really could have been more wide open than it actually was, but either way, the Gladiators do find a way to win, and they do it taking a lot of shots and spending a lot of time in the Orlando zone.
Yeah, it felt like they spent maybe 65-70% of the game in Orlando zone. It felt like every time I looked up, they had possession in Orlando zone. Just not able to find the back of the net as much as they would have liked, obviously, but a lot of really good possession time, a lot of really good cycle work, moved the puck around really well in the Orlando zone. And that just goes to give props to Connor Unger, the goaltender for Orlando. Had a really good night for them. Just wasn't enough to stop this Gladiators team from skating out of here with 2 points.
And so the train continues to roll for the Atlanta Gladiators. They take game number 1 of the 3-game homestand here this weekend. Solar Bears back in the building tomorrow night for the middle game. And this game is Knights Night. We're honoring the 1994 Turner Cup champion Atlanta Knights. Should be a good crowd in the building. Gladiators playing a lot of swagger, a lot of juice. This has the potential, Andrew, to be kind of a snowball effect for the Gladiators. They head down the home stretch here. This game, coming into it, 7 of the final 11 games were in this building here. The Gladiators are now on home ice, 22-7-0-1.
Yeah, you got to hope that it, as you said, kind of has that snowball effect going for the Gladiators down the stretch here. Majority of their games for the rest of the season being at home. Really good team on home ice. You got to hope that snowballs, gets them into the playoffs. Hopefully you get home ice in those playoffs, and you can really take advantage of it, especially in that first round of the playoffs if you get home ice.
And that's been a topic of discussion over the last couple of weeks, is home ice. And for a long time in this division, we know who the clear-cut top 3 are. It's Florida, it's South Carolina, it's Atlanta. The question is in what order? And over the last couple of weeks, Florida has kind of separated themselves from the other two. They do have a pretty lengthy lead for first place in the division. It still is possible for the Gladiators to catch up, although realistically, you would see that it is very likely the Gladiators will see the South Carolina Stingrays in the opening round of the Kelly Cup playoffs. The question is where will Game 1 be? And so that brings up the topic of conversation, home ice advantage. But we just listed it off there. Gladiators are now 22-7-0-1 at home, and on the road, they are a good road team, but not as good as home. I mean, they're 18-12-2 on the road, and they have struggled at North Charleston Coliseum this season. And that's why we talk about home ice advantage being so important. That makes games like this very, very critical. I mean, almost one of those ones where, yes, the Gladiators have clinched a playoff spot, but you look around the locker room, you say, we have to win tonight. We got to keep winning. And so you pick up those points. Now you tie the Stingrays. You got a game in hand, and all of a sudden, you're back in the race for second place.
Yeah, you still got a lot to play for the rest of the season. Yeah, as you said, you've clinched a playoff berth, which is great. Awesome for this team. But you really want home ice in that first round. You've been such a good team on home ice. You got a great crowd here at Gas South every single night, it feels like. And you want that home ice advantage. You want Game 1 in this building. And that's what the Gladiators got to strive for the rest of the season. Every night they got to go into it with that mentality that we have to win this game. We have to win this game. We want to play on home ice in the playoffs. So if you're the Gladiators looking for a little motivation for the rest of the season, this regular season, I should say, is let's get home ice. We want to play Game 1 at home.
And one last thought before we let everybody go is Ethan Hyder did not have a lot to do tonight for much of this game. Did see a flurry of shots towards the end with the net empty for Orlando. Ends up stopping 17 of 18. He is now third place all-time in the Gladiators all-time wins list. He has had a sensational season. And we've always talked about how great the Gladiators' goaltending has been. I personally believe that it is their biggest strength, Semptimphelter and Hyder. And you look at teams like Florida, who really are riding Cam Johnson every single night. He is the reigning goaltender of the year. The Stingrays now have Alexei Gravel, but with Seth Isley hurt, he is now their number 1. But you look at a team like the Gladiators, they have a 1A, 1B situation with Hyder and Semptimphelter to where it doesn't really matter who starts Game 1 because you know the other is going to get Game 2, and you can play them on that rotational basis, and they're not going to wear out. And you've seen all season long that when they do that, they remain very, very good goaltenders, and to give you a chance to win.
Yeah, because usually when a team goes into the playoffs, usually they do just have that set number 1 goalie who's going to play every single game. But for this Gladiators team, their goaltending and the rotation between Hyder and Semptimphelter is such a positive for this team that it feels like you almost have to go 1A, 1B and rotate them every other game in the playoffs. It'll be really interesting to see what Coach Ginn decides when it comes to game 1, and even more interesting to see when it comes to game 2 in the playoffs to see who gets the net.
And we will watch with great anticipation. The Gladiators down to 10 games in the regular season. They have their eyes set on second place. We'll see if they can boost themselves over the Stingrays with another win in this building tomorrow night. Pre-game coverage starts at 6:50. 7:10 puck drop. Hope to see you all back on the broadcast tomorrow night as the Gladiators host the Solar Bears for Knights Night here at Gas South Arena. Once again, your final score, Atlanta 3, Orlando 1. Guy Chiarenza for Andrew Fleming and Shelby Rabideau saying good night and so long, and hope to see you back again tomorrow night